What's up, everybody? Welcome to Outta Nowhere, episode number one. I don't know why I'm that intense. Episode number 168 of Outta Nowhere. We're approaching the 200 mark, man. We got AEW news. We got WWE news. The belt has been found, and Chris Jericho is enjoying the bubbly. Plus, Jake DeMarco's here. Connor from OKFabe's here. We're going to take your phone calls. We're going to talk about the WWE. The WWE Raw ratings. So the WWE Raw ratings, whoops. But we're going to find out how bad they get when it gets down to football season. If you're new to the channel, subscribe down below. Hit the like button. Comment and say all that shit and talk crap. I don't care what you say, man. Post weird shit about how you hate me and hate my life. And we'll talk about Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, and so much more on Outta Nowhere right now. That's about it. Let's fucking do it. Get wet. Get that. Raise up in the chat. Raise up in the chat. So much wrestling to talk about, I think.
The bubbly. The bubbly. Oh. 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 Oh.
Super Jack. Super Jack.
Joe, I will swallow every drop.
I'll swallow every drop. Yeah, swallow every drop, please. Casey. Oh, is that? No, Corwin Eberly. God damn it, I thought it was Casey as Raw, but it was Corwin Eberly. What up, Corwin? Thank you, man.
The bubbly. The bubbly. Oh. 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 Oh.
Dude, I can listen to that over and over again.
The bubbly. The bubbly.
Jericho posted this on his own Instagram.
Oh. Oh.
Jericho posted that on his own damn Instagram. Anyway, let's start the show. Grab a drink. If you're underage, grab a crayon. I don't know. Put a crayon in your eye. The bubbly.
This call sucks.
This is war. Out of nowhere. This is war. Out of nowhere. This is war. Out of nowhere.
Just walk in as double champ. Burn it down. I just walk in as double champ. Burn it down. I just walk in as double champ. Burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it down.
All right, what's up, everybody? Shout out to Corwin Eberly for the first $2. By the look on Jake's face, I can tell that the sound is working now, I believe. All right, awesome. What did you think?
Lose.
Connor, what did you think of that? We were laughing at it pretty heavily the other day when we were laughing at how bad Seth's promo is.
So cringy. Oh my god. Between that and AJ Styles telling Michael Cole he's gonna shove his dick down his mouth.
Oh my god. When I'm gonna walk in, you can see him like looking down in embarrassment on most of that promo at the table, and he's like, "Burn it down." Like, it was just oh my god, dude! It was one of the fucking
so bad.
worst things I've ever seen, dude. Well, me, I'm gonna walk in and burn it down. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like I'm waiting for him. I can't believe I'm not blocked yet. Apparently, JD's blocked. I can't wait till I'm blocked. I mean, I remember when you know what's funny is I remember when Kevin Owens blocked me, then unblocked me, then blocked me again, and then unblocked me,
then followed you, right?
and then followed me. Yeah, it was really fucking weird. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was like in a quick succession too. It was like,
Yeah.
I've been blocked, I've been unblocked, I've been followed, I've been blocked.
Yeah.
It's just,
What the fuck?
I don't know.
And now I'm unblocked but not followed.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Well, I think that's also because you had this newer Twitter. So that was
Yeah.
an old Twitter.
He may not even know that this is me anymore because nobody does.
Because you've had 4 since then.
Yeah, even Matt Hardy is like. I remember when I got into.
I'm not so sure.
No, Matt Hardy knows, but like when I was talking to Matt Hardy one time, and he was like, "Do you have like fucking 7 Twitters?" Like, and I was like, "No, they're all the other ones are gone." He goes, "I can still see your other ones." I'm like, "Yeah, you can see them, but I can't get on them because they're suspended, which means you're done." And he was like,
nuked.
"Wow." He's like, "What do you have, a lot of haters or something?" I'm like, "Yeah." Because I'm a hater. I'm a hater. You're a hater, you know. But yeah. Anyway, but I got so sick of like going after all my former contacts on Twitter because I had so many wrestling contacts that I'm like, "Hey, it's me. It's really me." And it's like people, they're just like, "What the fuck?" And you know, the other thing about
I'm not
that.
so sure.
Well, but that's the thing is the other thing about that is like, you know,
They
if
get fakes. And
if I'm following like Road Dogg or whoever the fuck, like Terry Reynolds or someone, they're used to being under like attack by like random fake Joe Cronin people. So, you know, like Joe Cronin sucks at life or Joe Cronin's loser life or something like that. And so they're just like, they see corrupted something and Joe Cronin and they're just like, "Oh, this is another one of those fucking dumb accounts that's following me from poor Joe Cronin who like whatever." Because they come to me a lot, and they'll be like, "Do you know this person?" You know, and it's like fucking Die Joe Die, like at 612 or something. And I'm like, "No, that's some troll guy. He's always telling me to kill myself." And they're like, "Oh, okay, good. I blocked him. All right." And they'll be like, wrestlers will come and say that to me. But now here I am at Corrupted Pod on Twitter, like, "It's really me. Like, seriously." And I'm just like, "Oh, fuck it." So they'll figure it out. Who cares? Nobody
They'll get there
cares
eventually.
really. Yeah, they don't really care. They're probably nobody's going, "Where happened to Joe Cronin?" Nobody's thinking that. But I know that I have no contact anymore, but they don't fucking know anything. All they care about is their real friends and people who matter. But anyway, yeah, so Raw, man, Raw and SmackDown. Who took the cake for you, Connor?
I would have to say Raw.
Whoa.
Yeah. I felt like Raw was just, I don't know. Like,
Who are you and what have you done with OK-Fabe?
I mean, my brain's been pretty fried just from today alone. So
Well,
it's
they
probably-
were really close. I mean, I went with SmackDown, but Raw had the bigger moments, like the Fiend promo and the Bayley turn. That was bigger than anything really that happened on SmackDown. But SmackDown had like 2 solid matches and a pretty good Randy Orton promo. So, you know, if you had put the pretty good Randy Orton promo, the 2 good matches on SmackDown, the good matches on Raw, the Bayley turn and the Fiend thing all in one show that was 2 hours, you would have had a pretty fucking good show. I mean,
That's an 8 out of 10 right there.
It wasn't by much, but yeah, I mean, and that Firefly Funhouse, I think that might have been my favorite one I've ever seen.
Me too. I agree. That was hilarious.
Just with all the insinuations and things like that, it was great because that's exactly the wholehearted truth of the business. So long as you're making a shit ton of money, they don't care. They'll give you what you want. You want a Hell in a Cell match? You know how much money? I wish we would find out specifics. I'm hoping we get, during their quarterly breakdown, some type of insight to see like the difference from last, quarter's merch sales versus this quarter's, even if it's just a percentage, because the Fiend has sold out of everything multiple times. It's going on back order. It's been nuts. So
imagine the action figure, dude. It's gonna kill. That action figure is gonna just murder.
And I will say the elite figures that they have out now, the newest series, they are so detailed. I remember our action figures. The Rock, you didn't know if it was The Rock or just like a Samoan extra. Like,
yeah,
I don't even think he looks Samoan. You know,
no.
But
he looked
you know,
like
Stone Cold could have just been a Mr. Clean. It left a lot to be desired, anyways. And that was an upgrade, you know. And then
at that time we thought those looked good. We were like, wow, these look much better.
Now they come with like the Adam Cole one comes with different hands you can attach, so you can do the Undisputed Era, you know, hand signal and all.
What the fuck?
So detailed that they can have all these
crazy
things. It's nuts when you can replace their hands that do different, you know, belt.
Does it come with
a belt or chairs? Or
I want the detachable penis. Give me that.
That's
well. You know what they'll do?
Nyla Rose is coming with that.
That's extra.
And I'm sorry, that's horrible. AEW is gonna have. Well, never mind. Okay, go ahead, Connor.
With that being said, I don't want to see what the Ricochet figure is gonna have. Then pew pew.
Yeah, right. He poops out his butt. He tickles himself.
Why is he doing like the bang bang like Mick Foley? Oh.
He does this. Well, you know what's funny about this and what Ricochet did and everything is Brock Turner was in the news today. So like I was immediate. It's weird because I saw Brock Turner was in the news and I thought of Ricochet, and I don't know why that is, but it's very strange.
Correlated somehow. Well, yeah, his victim finally came forward and gave her side of things. So
my side of things is it was a fucking nightmare.
Exactly. But she's been referred to this entire time as, you know, inebriated, unconscious victim number one, you know, kind of idea. Like Jane Doe, no identity. And she's been talked down even by media coverage constantly. So he was the stand-up star athlete, and she was just the drunk, lowly whore.
It's amazing how, like, people in Hollywood and stuff get, like, Me Too'd, and their, like, careers and lives are over. But when someone actually gets diddled and raped, like they they make the victim. It's weird how both extremes still happen. Like somebody who's a victim of something like gets treated like shit, and then the person who committed some terrible act gets off with like a month or two in jail or whatever. And meanwhile, careers and livelihoods are ruined off accusations from nothing. Like, it's so fucking weird. So it's like
baseless accusations, like you said, no proof, no evidence.
We
no
haven't
facts.
fixed the problem of the prosecuting people the right way. Instead, we've added the problem of also blaming people with false allegations to make it even worse. Like, it's so weird, man, that it's all bad right now. What the hell? Like,
Zoe Quinn's back on Twitter, though.
Come on, guy. Oh, yeah, she's bad. What a fucking...
celebrate that.
Hope she gets in a car crash.
That was quick, huh?
Let's, what a fake bitch she is.
Super chat.
How does JD reach the gas pedal on his V6 Mustang?
Oh, God. Mike Litteris.
There was actually a scientific study released today that said drinking alcohol in the third trimester actually leads to the infant becoming a JD fan, so...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting, but hell of a read.
Jesus Christ. Well...
Nothing like SIDS.
I'd be more worried about that auto shifting, but Connor, I'd like to shift you, but no. So Raw won to you, Connor. I think me and Jake went with SmackDown, but it was barely, like, it was really close. Maybe it was because it was like the freshest thing in our minds too, like because we saw those matches. But
even going back, the SmackDown matches to me were more entertaining.
The finish of Raw was better, or at least it was better executed. Not that I didn't like the Rowan thing. I thought that was sort of interesting, but it was more just like, what the fuck is going on? I thought it was
dumb, but yeah, I kind of thought
it was
like,
whereas Bailey's like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Like that was the two different reactions I had.
Yeah, it was more Raw's moments were more exciting. Again, if you put those moments on SmackDown and eliminated the like women's match that happened and a couple of the one of the other things, like you would have had yourself pretty. Something, better than what we got.
So many people contribute Sasha returning to, Bayley turning heel, but this has been planned for a while, especially with the pay-per-view being in the Queen City, with them returning to North Carolina. They've been considering this for quite some time because they knew that Charlotte was going to be revered and cheered no matter what, and so they wanted to turn Bayley heel.
It's so weird though because I feel like it's so hard to cheer for Charlotte. She just still comes out like a robot. I feel like.
I'm not arguing, and she's looking more and more like Cher. Several people in the chat said that.
Yeah,
as well.
what is she
I
doing?
said it a few weeks ago. I'm like, she just doesn't look like herself
No,
anymore.
you
she
said
looks
she
odd.
changed faces or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just progressively gotten worse the past few weeks. She doesn't look like Charlotte Flair anymore. I don't know what's happening, but how much work has she had done, or is it just different makeup, or what?
Man, if only I could turn back
odd.
time.
I
could find a way.
Find a way.
I think Almas Andrade. I think Andrade is making her get surgery or something. Let's blame him.
Yeah.
Let's blame him. I mean, we
He's
blamed
gotta
Del
be a
Rio for Paige. I mean,
I was just going to say if it happened to Paige.
And look at Paige. Paige started looking like a fucking. She looks like the Fiend with her makeup now, with the big bold lipstick and the weird, like completely overdone makeup everywhere. It's the same thing. It's like these guys, man.
Well, her
What the-
complexion, yeah, the contrast with the really bold lipstick.
Paige
Yeah.
here, let me in.
Paige hair.
But they were they were worried about them cheering, Charlotte and booing Bayley. So now they're trying to, basically solve that issue, and it was pretty obvious. But
Well, I don't think she's full heel. I think she's just loyal to Sasha, and I think that what's going to happen is eventually it's going to lead to Sasha and Bayley one-on-one, obviously.
well, that'll be the story down the road. But I really like what they did on Tuesday, and I hope they capitalize on this because think about it. We always get the narcissistic, conniving bitch heel when it comes to females. We often don't see
And my mom.
a heel of this, level, in the sense that it's original. If they're going to have Bayley continue with this justified hero motif that she has in her mind, where she's going to be doing nasty, underhanded, evil things, beating people down with chairs, but in her mind, she's justified. She's doing the right thing. I'm your hero. Why aren't you cheering for me? So she'll be doing bad things, but feel like she's doing the right thing. I think that could be a great gimmick for her to go off of. I want you to be the fan that I was. I want you to have the person to look up to like I did. But really, she's anything but a real idol. I think that would be, a great thing for her to have. Hopefully they find a way to stick with that, just because it's not more of the same old. How many more bitchy, lying, conniving, backstabbing, females can we have? They all do the same thing, pretty much.
Yeah, it's all like locker room girl, like.
Yeah, the
What
bully.
the fuck?
So if we have Bayley coming out and presenting herself as this ultimate face, but really she's the heel, I think that would be awesome. So we'll see what happens, but
Well,
Give me a hell yeah!
hell yeah.
Natty follows me on Twitter and has earned my loyalty for life cause of it.
Sleepy Never, what's up? Sleepy Never, yeah, I mean, I guess you got to give her loyalty if she follows you. She once followed me, too, on my old account, and then I felt bad every time I was like, fuck this, like, because I like her. It's just, I'm critical of her,
yeah.
even though I like her. I give her lots of respect, for sure, but I'm critical of her. So, I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard when you want to be real, but...
Chad Party!
Botch Club. Show the Club Joe # Jimmy Miranda Award.
The club is calling. Botch Club with the $1.99. Yeah, we'll go look at a Botch Club video in a little while. We'll go take a look at their Instagram because it's pretty cool.
It's always, always got something great on there.
Jimmy Miranda, man. So many. I believe that not only Jimmy Miranda, but I think other members of the Miranda family were involved in WWE for a long time. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that that's maybe true, or the Miranda brothers, or maybe there was just another Miranda that had nothing to do with Jimmy Miranda. I don't know. But Botch Club on Instagram, thanks for the $1.99, Botch Club. You are a sexy beast. And if we get anywhere near our goal tonight, I will play some games after Outta Nowhere is over. With all you lovely bastards in the chat, who's wet? Probably nobody.
Connor's
Me.
Bumbaclat, blood clot, rousclat, grapes.
Bumbaclot, blood clot, Ross clot, grapes. What? The fuck does that mean? Who is that? I didn't even see
You
it.
just activated a bunch of Russian spies.
Oh,
I'm telling
fuck.
you,
Now
that's
they're-
some
oh,
keyword
no.
or something.
Oh no.
Botch Club, the Wrestle Daily, hashtag JIMMYMIRANDAAWARD.
You guys have to
All right.
read the comments on Botch Club of what people say about my videos on Botch Club. They're like, what the fuck
Who the
is
hell
this?
is this? Yeah.
Yeah, who's this loser? But every once in a while, there'll be like a guy, and out of nowhere, they'll be like, that's Joe Cronin. And then some be like, that's gay. Like, it's funny.
It is funny, though. We've been discussing that out of nowhere since, actually, before WrestleMania. We discussed it briefly, but afterwards we talked about it pretty much in length. I initially reported, pat on my back, that there would be a draft. It would coincide with the release of SmackDown going to Fox, and it would be after SummerSlam, obviously. I said that they wanted to go ahead and branch off so that, when Fox finally, that deal comes to fruition and everything happens, that they want to go ahead and differentiate the two shows, new stages. There's even talks and full discussions today, which we'll get into a little bit later, about things that they want to change that's on like their agenda list that came about via a very small populated fan survey. I'm all fucked up, can't talk. Bear with me. So we found out that tentatively the SmackDown roster will get the first crack at the draft. Then it's going to be Friday in Las Vegas. That'll be October 11th, and then Raw gets the follow-up October 14th. So I think that's cool. You have the weekend to kind of mull over what happened with the SmackDown side of things. That can be discussed on Friday, and then it goes back to Monday. I kind of like that rather than go all week and wait. It's a shorter time span between the two shows, Friday to Monday.
Well, remember the last one? It basically went like 7 weeks with like quietly.
Pretty much, but...
Well, do you remember the initial one? Like Raw got like 3 picks and SmackDown got 2. Like SmackDown got fucked.
Yeah.
No doubt. But so we've been discussing here that there would be a draft for quite some time, and now it comes out, everyone comes out of the woodwork saying like, oh, a draft's happening. Well, no shit. We've been saying this for ages
Well,
now.
who cares, too? Like, and by the way, is this what WWE, because we said this when we heard this last week. Last week they were like, WWE about to announce major announcement. Is this the major announcement? Because we said it, we were like, oh.
Probably.
Yeah,
but
this seems
stupid.
likely.
But the one thing that I noted, and I'm not sure if we talked about this before, Jake, but the one thing I saw was that NXT would be involved in the draft as an equal brand. So there'd be a bigger chance you see other people jumping to NXT.
Oh.
Yeah, which was interesting because they said that they were considering having NXT do their own draft, but then they might do it where it's like almost like a lottery system with those that haven't been drafted initially can be pulled into NXT. Obviously, it'd be a tentative plan for those to go back down or to NXT, but certainly is interesting with that being considered because there's so many people that either had something good going for them and just aren't being utilized, or could use a gimmick change or a bit of rejuvenation, and NXT would benefit either from the star power or from added talent to share on the roster. So I think it's a good thing all around for this to happen. The thing that I found interesting is that they had a very small sampling size of a survey for people to go ahead, and they wanted to know, they asked fans that are fans of multiple brands and organizations and factions. They found people specifically that enjoy WWE and AEW, and they wanted to know, what does other companies have, or what is WWE missing, basically? What would make you watch AEW over WWE? And the top answer that a lot of people came out with is pyro, believe it or not. They love the fact that there's pyro in AEW for the pay-per-views, and that WWE's missing it, and so that was amusing. You can't really knock WWE. They said that diversity and talent, and the fact that like AEW is using newer talent, I don't think that that's a fair criticism for WWE, because that's what NXT and the Performance Center does. They bring in new talent all the time, and they are securing a lot of indie stars and top talent there. So I don't think that's a fair criticism, but the main thing being that they're now considering bringing back pyro because of the influx of money from Fox, and the fact that that's one of the things AEW will have. Yeah, so it's interesting. Hopefully that's true.
That ain't gonna save them, but it could. It adds to it for sure. The presentation. Unknown caller. Hello.
Especially live.
Hey, Joe Cronin, I want to ask you and Jake something.
Yeah.
What are your memories of whenever Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 23? I'm not 23. I mean WrestleMania 3.
I remember that I saw it afterwards. Like I was, my first WrestleMania was 5, so I rented it. So my first memory is that I rented it and I watched it. You know, what I mean, myself on a VHS, not knowing any backstory, not knowing about anything. And I just thought it was cool that he slammed this gigantic dude. It was crazy. So I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, I was a little kid, and I'd rewind it to watch it, and I watched the whole WrestleMania. But yeah, that's about the extent of my. Also, I remember thinking like, I know this guy from. I've seen him in the movies. You know, that's what I thought about Andre when I saw him in there with Hulk Hogan. I was like, I know him from a couple movies.
Princess Bride. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing for me. My step-grandfather was the one that got me initially into wrestling. He used to watch it with my mother and you know, sat down and showed me, like, oh, this is what happened here at WrestleMania. And WrestleMania 3 was one of the ones that I actually started with. And then we'd go back and watch different things together. But, you know, on his tape collection, that was one of the ones that he, you know, would explain and go over how important it was. And
well, but I mean, really, honestly, my biggest memory of WrestleMania 3 in that moment was when I used to masturbate to Andre's ass.
Oh yeah, that singlet.
Yeah, not even that, just the chunky bumps like I would see out of his ass. Like I would be like, yeah, let me get some of that. I used to just wax my carrot, and then like Hulk Hogan's fucking big traps, like woof, like I would just. I mean, Vince McMahon, I mean, I know exactly why Vince liked him, because I was, you know, sprouting in age, and I was delivering.
You're clearly joking, right?
No. Why would you?
I mean, no, I've told this story before.
Yeah. Cottage. Anytime Joe sees a type of cottage cheese, he gets rock hard.
Yeah, when I see cottage cheese, like, there's something about the divots. It's like, they look like tons of vaginas to me.
Well, Joe, I still like you anyway.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding, dude. Thanks for the call, man. I love you. Good call. I thought that guy was trolling or something, but then it's like, I know.
I just love well, Joe, I still love you anyway.
He was like really horrified by everything I just said, which is probably why I said it.
Super Chat Party.
Todd Pelkey.
Charlotte Flair should do a Cher concert.
Yeah, man, she could play her in like the real life movie. Well, they probably already made that, but like if they ever did,
they have that
one.
Broadway show where they have like 3 different shares, you know, throughout time, and
so
maybe she could just replace one of them.
Back town.
Stop telling me I'm a transvestite. I'm a girl. I was born this way. Todd Pelkey, thanks for the $1.99, man.
I'm dying for this response.
What's that?
You gotta love comments that catch your eye every now and again. I don't know how I'm full of shit, but you really
are full of shit, though. Come on, bro.
I haven't gone.
Most of what you say is really retarded. Come on, let's just be honest. Like most of what you say is bullshit.
Look at the stickers right next to you. I mean, come on.
Yeah, bullshit.
I mean, dude. Yeah, but you know what? Nobody says that about themselves unless they're like, you know, it's like when someone calls themselves real. It's like they're really not. You know. Yeah, I mean, look at me. You know,
you're as real as it gets.
Yeah, let's like, come on, man. Let me be like real talk. I'm a real as real. Let me just hit you up with some real speech, some real talk, some real facts here. Oh wait, I'm the biggest fake there is. You know, it's like that's what happens. So you got that poop emoji there. No shit. Yeah, block the shit. Whatever. I don't believe it. You got shit pouring out of your fucking eyeballs at this point.
That's right, baby.
Just like Jim Cornette, man. His big fucking eyeballs.
It's a fecal frenzy.
That
drives me nuts.
That's your finishing move, is the fecal frenzy.
Ooh, just let it run down your leg.
God,
it's like a sting face, but it's like a sting face, but definitely more effective.
Yeah, like Rikishi got them craters that I would desire. You know.
Yeah, damn stupid.
Dude, imagine Louis C.K. getting in a WWE ring and with like lotion all over his tummy. What the hell? But yeah, Jericho found the belt, man, and they found it. Where did they find it?
$30,000.
$30,000 belt.
You said $3,000, and I when I asked you, and that sounded reasonable. That explains why he was so up in arms about this belt being missing, and because the actual report that I read offline, not my bullshit, the internet's bullshit, went ahead and said that, remember they brought in forensic analysts and they had a crime-stopping tip line that they put out, and to call for information and all these different things. And I'm like, wow, they're really treating this with so much intensity.
Well, it's made of Tony Khan's
surprised.
family fucking tears, so
it must be that and blood diamonds apparently, because Christ, $30,000. But
wow,
they said that they found it on the side of the road. Someone turned it into police headquarters after finding it along the side of the road. So someone noticed it, and brought it into the police.
Do you think that he left it on top of the fucking limo? Do you think that he left it on the fucking top, not in the limo?
I didn't even consider that. Imagine, so he's got it on the limo, the guy drives, and it falls off onto the side of the road.
Exactly, because that, honestly, someone turned it in, right? So someone turned...
Yeah, so they found it on the side of the road.
So either somebody turned it in, is somebody who stole it, gave it back, or it's... Because why would it be on the side of the road? Jericho said he left it in the limo. It's not going to fall out of the limo that way. So Jericho probably, I would think, misremembered, and he had placed it
with
on
him
the
drinking,
right? And he always drinks
a little bit of the bubbly,
which he made a shirt, by the way.
Good idea. He's got another catchphrase.
He goes ahead and the limo driver maybe grabbing the bags, put it on top of the trunk or the back seat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's a possibility.
And it could cling onto the car on leather. Yeah. That leather could cling on for a little while until you get the highway, and that makes sense why it fell off on the highway.
Yeah, so
we figured it out. Come on,
because if someone got nervous and ditched it, that's what I said to Connor before. Like, oh shit, why would you leave it on the side of the road? And it's just like you just throw it out of your car. Then I would, if I had taken the damn thing and didn't want to get in trouble. Oh wow, they're really looking for it. I'd bring it to the police station and just be like, oh, I was driving by the airport and I found it. Here you go.
The other thing is, I don't think people took it because he thought he left it in the car, and it's like if it's in the limo, nobody's gonna find it really. Like nobody's running into that car to steal it, and pretty much everywhere that limo was parked, there was probably a camera that would have picked it up at a store, at a hotel, whatever. They all have cameras that are staring out into the parking lot areas. There's no way that somebody reached in and grabbed it and ran off. That just didn't happen. This is totally the logical reason. They put it on top of the damn thing. They forgot it was on it, and it fell off on the highway. This is it. That's the answer. It's got to be.
That's an amazing turn of events if that's really the case. Because
it's got to be.
I guess when police they thoroughly investigated the limo driver, because it went from Longhorn Steakhouse. The limo went right back to the airport, got the correct luggage, left the airport, and went right back to pick up Jericho at Longhorn. There weren't stops. Like they because the limos have GPS in them, so that they could be checked up on and all this stuff. Same thing with Uber drivers and taxi cabs. It's common nowadays. That's what they do. They investigated all of this. They said the limo driver wasn't a suspect, wasn't at fault, and no arrests have been made. They would have been able to pin down had the limo driver stop somewhere else to ditch it, or he would have had to store it somewhere, because they searched through the whole limo. They had forensic teams come out and dust for prints and all this stuff.
It'd be funny if the limo guy, if Jericho had left it in there and the limo guy pulled over at some place and he was like trying it on and wearing it and taking photos with it, like and then his phone rang and then he put it on top of the roof, and then after he got off the phone call, just go back in the limo and he's the one who left it, and this video surfaces of him like fucking around with it, like
having like a little fashion show of it. Yeah, exactly.
Flossing between his ass.
Oh well, if he was Paige, it would fucking be a big load on it.
That's what I said to Jake. I said you might want to blacklight that thing.
Then he let some kids play with it. Remember that the next day, like the kids taking the photos with the Divas belt, and all you can imagine is like the cum shot that happened on the thing?
Someone did a side-by-side comparison, I think, of that.
Really?
Yeah, where like you saw like the photo from the video, and then you saw like the next day, and then she's doing an autograph signing. That
it really is, like, because who cares? All the other stuff, like, whatever, but like that really is one of the creepiest things, like, yeah, put a load on this belt. Oh, hey, now like there's a meet and greet with some kids tomorrow. Hey, kids, hold this belt.
Ugh.
This guy took his fucking semen patch out on it last night. Do you think she washed it? Like
oh God, no.
Like a little bit.
Not a chance in hell.
Nope.
Imagine if in the photo you could see this kind of like crust over in the leather. You know, like just you're like,
It's
oh
not.
my God.
It's not huge. It's just like if you look hard enough, you can see it.
You're like, there's no way that's not crusty. And she was drunk, so like maybe she didn't remember they did that. You know, even though she has pictures of it. I'm practicing. Dude, I so badly wanted that to be like the bonus ending to the Page movie with The Rock. It was it was a really good movie, to be honest, but it didn't end with it gets so much more tragic. Like they literally were almost done filming that movie when like her life got horrifically crazy.
Yeah, and then all the shit happened with Del Rio and
they really could have had
addiction and drinking. And
if you make part 2, it's probably going to do better than part 1 because it's like Del Rio and their fights. And, like, the sex tapes coming out, and then her career having to be over. Like, I mean, there's a 3-part right there.
Fighting with my family too, sticky pages.
Fighting with... Don't turn the page. Fighting with my family... No, it's fighting with my family too.
Sticky business.
Sticky time. Or, XXX. Uncensored. Page... And they really should have made a sponsorship out of that purple dildo she had.
Yeah, I like what Moki Z said. Brad Maddox is got the only title shot.
Yeah, he got a real good one. Shoot it right in there.
Super Chat Party.
Spaz.
What's up, you sexy beasts?
What up,
Connor
Spaz?
love the morning show. Joe, you're a beast.
Am I? Oh, thank you. Lol emojis didn't read. I don't know why. Spaz Phoenix, thanks for the $5 Canadian. He's a big Connor from Fabe fan, and he tells me that he desires you, to be honest.
Who doesn't?
Well,
not the first time I've heard that, so.
Coming with my family. Anything else? What else do you got, Jake? Or did we talk about everything about this belt yet? Or, I mean, I know that he's Jericho's celebrating, but, you know.
Well, the Tallahassee police originally posted on their Facebook that the belt was recovered. They had, I presume, a police officer holding up the belt. They had someone, I looked in uniform, so I'm assuming it's a police officer holding up the belt. And then they immediately removed that post on Facebook. And the guy that was doing a lot of the investigating reached out for comment, and they changed their stance. And they're like, oh, it's still an open case at this point, and the belt has not been recovered. So that was odd. So that's why people thought, oh, this is really just a work the whole time. But then AEW was like, oh, the jig is up. So they tweeted thank you to the Tallahassee police, because I guess they wanted to keep this going as a storyline.
They definitely
It was
did.
legitimate. It did actually get lost and or stolen. But they
should have kept
turn it into a storyline. So they were hoping the police didn't mention that it was recovered.
They should have kept it up. They should have said that the police have delivered it to someone, and then they were like, well, that's not me, you know, it's still missing. And I don't know, but yeah, you're right, it's kind of
it was too hard to go off of that. Like, the jig was up, and
Yeah.
they basically was like, you know, oh, we're screwed here.
we knew it though. We all knew it. Like, they were like totally setting something up, like some kind of like who did it. But you know what?
They were trying to go from there.
I said to Jake, I said, that could go either way. That could be either a fantastic story, or it could make them just look like fucking idiots. So it's a tough call.
But either way, in a way, it actually did what it had to do already, because they were done with AEW. The AEW talk was pretty much, you know, was over. I mean, it wasn't. We were still going to talk a little bit about it, but, you know, Raw and SmackDown were happening now, and we're talking about that stuff. And instead of SmackDown, like, half the people listening, all they wanted to talk about was the belt missing. So it was this huge marketing thing that they didn't even mean to do. And tons of people in wrestling who didn't even watch AEW were like forced to look at this belt that was missing. So it really was a great thing for them by accident.
Yeah, like I said, it helped reach so many more eyes that even maybe not have watched AEW, you know, just for Jericho fans or whatnot, you know.
Yeah,
I hope they do more like that. I mean, not losing the belt, but doing more like taking advantage of like social media and stuff. Because you're right, it did blow the hell up.
Yeah, we talked about this with the WWE 24 title before they announced it. Like, hey, why don't they have a belt where it can be defended any time so that they can do this kind of crazy off the grid type stuff? And then they did it, but they're not quite doing it the right way, but they're kind of doing it the right way.
You're right about the cycles too, because they had their pay-per-view event Saturday, Sunday everyone talks about it, Monday and Tuesday is reserved, quote unquote, for WWE, and then Wednesday usually you hear something from both camps, AEW and WWE, so you get like a mix of news. But like you said, this dominated and took over the news, entirely. And then Jericho came out with the whole, bubbly hot tub video, and it just kept building from there. Now there's tons of memes with it. So
yeah, now he's got another
big news today
catchphrase.
Was kind of overshadowed by the belt too. You figure more people would be talking about Jon Moxley's return date and his match against Omega, officially being announced, but instead we're just talking about the belt. So
everyone's
really
making
shows.
bubbly memes.
Yeah,
that's what everybody's doing. Everybody's making bubbly memes. So even what's going to happen is, that's what's going to take over. That's what you're going to remember. Jericho in a couple months is going to be like, man, remember that bubbly shit? Like that all came because we lost the belt. It's just crazy.
He starts coming out with champagne and bubbles,
Jericho right now, like more than anybody, even when Jericho was in the WWE still, Jericho more than anybody is the most like authentic at just getting catchphrase stuff to trend without even always meaning to do it. Like he doesn't even always mean to do it. Like look at the examples.
I was gonna say he got so much shit over. He got it over. He got a scarf. He got
Mitch the Plant.
Mitch the Plant. List of Jericho. I actually have a list of Jericho because he got the fucking thing over. Like it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, like all the stuff.
Shut the hell up! All of his catchphrases, all the stuff. I mean, he's been just. He's always had that power.
Everything he says is like mimicked. You know what I mean? Because it's funny and it's good.
Emulated, yeah.
Like he's cool. Like he really is. Like seriously, like it's crazy, and it's weird because there was this buzz about Jericho being cool. If you guys, Connor might not remember. He probably knows now because of the history of wrestling, but I remember the buzz of Jericho in school, like when he was in WCW still, and people always were buzzing like, wouldn't it be awesome if Jericho went to WWE? And I don't know why that was, because it didn't happen with anybody else. It was always...
no one else was trading over and going elsewhere.
Yeah, but everyone always...
No one was going over to WCW to WWF, right?
Yeah.
Right.
People had left to WCW, but
people
and I didn't
always...
watch any WCW, so I knew Jericho's like face from the video game. For 64, I believe that's the one he was in at that point.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I had no idea. Like, I didn't watch any promos, matches, nothing. I didn't know shit about him, and I heard his name constantly. I was an avid WWF watcher. I did not watch any WCW. My best friend, John McCool, growing up, he would watch, Nitro and Thunder, and I would not at all. Like, I felt like a backstab to the WWF.
I watched a little bit. I felt the same way. I felt dirty watching it too. I felt the same way.
I did not tune in for shit. And actually, he begged me and pleaded at that point to see the Ready to Rumble movie, and that was like the most I had seen for WCW was that movie.
So you were what? So are you talking about this? So you were waiting for Jericho, or you were hearing people talking about?
I heard about him constantly. Anybody that watched, like, it was like you said, just backing up your statement. There was a huge buzz.
Yeah,
and then he capitalized on it with the whole Millennium Man Y2J entrance. With the Rock. That's still revered as the biggest debut.
Do you remember not knowing that was him? Because I remember thinking.
I had no clue.
Yeah, like I remember thinking Jericho's going to come to the WWE like one day maybe. Like, oh man, wouldn't it be great? And what happened was that buzz died down a little bit. And then the rumors came out that like, hey, he might be doing that. But we still had no idea. But you just had these rumors from 2 years. I'm talking they were like 2 years of Jericho, go to WWE Jericho. And so when the Millennium Countdown happened, it was like, oh, what's this going to be? And that's why when it was him, it was such a roar from the crowd. There were people that knew.
When he was facing Dean Malenko, really,
right.
And then from there, everything just carried over.
People knew that were a little bit older, that were reading the internet and stuff like that. They kind of had they knew if you were really reading the rumors on the line. But at the time, I wasn't deep into the rumors. So luckily, although I did read rumors and reviews and, feds and things like that, I had no idea, so it was really cool because I was like, "No, I think I was
11 years old when he was debuting, and I remember the Chicago crowd had signs that said Jericho and all that stuff.
Yeah, they knew.
And a lot of them were aware, but I don't even think they knew that he was the Millennium Man and that was going to be his debut then. I think that they were just expecting a run-in, and the way he debuted was, because we saw that countdown clock forever. And I don't think anybody assumed that was Jericho. I didn't hear any talk about, that's going to be Jericho for the debut. No one knew what the hell, because it didn't line up to anything like the actual Millennium. So.
Yeah. And I know that people are saying, like, Jimmy Jacobs created the list idea. My point is that he got it over. It's a fucking list and a clipboard, and he got that over. No, I give all the credit to Jimmy Jacobs for that. Jimmy Jacobs is great. In fact, WWE shouldn't have lost him. WWE should have listened to more of his ideas. Instead, they listened to a couple of his, like, whatever ideas, and then, he had a huge one with the list. But he also worked well with Jericho, and I think once Jericho was wishy-washy with them, they were like, well, we only use his ideas when it comes to Jericho, so whatever. But it's like, why? Jimmy Jacobs is great. Is he back in Ring of Honor now, Jimmy Jacobs? I can't remember now.
I don't know. Connor might know, but
yeah, well, I think Connor just dropped off.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and play.
When he gets back, we'll have to ask him.
Super chat.
Can you hear these?
Party.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Jake. Nuff said. Bye-bye.
Todd0864. Jesus. What is that, like a Connor slight or something?
What's up? I think he's just saying hello.
Oh, maybe he's just saying hi, but not to Connor.
He's just saying hey.
Todd, thanks, man. Let's play. I'm gonna let another one play or two play. We got some donations popping in, guys. If you want to donate tonight, the link is in the description box down below. Streamlabs, Twitch alerts, whatever. Keep the show going. I have a insane fucking goal below, but I don't even know. I'm almost intimidated by the goal tonight. I don't think we're going to be able to reach it, but we'll see what happens. All the donation amounts are listed, and I will be playing some games later if we hit the goal. Todd, thank you, my friend. Super chats don't count for some reason. I don't know why. It's stupid.
Counts to us.
Chat.
It counts to me, yeah.
Party.
I love the gimmick. Bray Wyatt looks like clown stuck in mid-transformation into Violator.
That's a great
From
point.
the Spawn comic. Love the show.
That's a great point. Michael Canini, thank you for the $9.50, Michael. That is a great... I love that fucking... God, I just always loved Spawn. I didn't even read the comics that much, but the visuals of Spawn, I always really liked.
I read one graphic novel, and I didn't follow. I wish I did, though, but...
It's I just watched the movie, basically, and was like, all right, the movie works for me. I'm pretty excited about the new Spawn, man. I am pretty excited. I love all that gritty, dark stuff from, especially back in the 90s, like Spawn, Duke Nukem. I always wanted a Duke Nukem movie and a Spawn series or something, so...
Yeah, Steelers Respecting the chat was mentioning how Ken Shamrock is returning to TNA.
He's returning everywhere.
Returning to WWE.
He's done 70 interviews.
Yeah, I'm always loved Shamrock. I used to watch him before WWE times.
Why did they hate him so much?
Mixed martial arts. I don't know. That's what I was gonna ask you.
They clearly hate him, or Triple H must have a problem with him.
Somebody has bad blood with him somewhere, because he had mentioned in one of the interviews that he tried to reach out, I believe it was.
Yep.
And no response, and I can't understand why they wouldn't find some way to utilize him. But I was huge, with Shamrock and being a fan of his Lion's Den, and I always liked him, his character, even the theme song I loved. So
yeah, I would
with the ankle lock and the friggin' he would just snap. It was badass. I love that.
Didn't Ken Shamrock once face Brock Lesnar in the UFC?
Maybe.
That's not the best question for us. We don't really know.
No, I don't believe so. I don't think they faced off.
No? Does anybody know ever? I don't think they did either, but I don't know why I always thought for some reason that Shamrock got in there with Lesnar at one point.
I don't think they ever faced off, because I remember he wanted to have a fight, and it definitely wasn't in the UFC.
They never fought.
Brock fought anywhere else.
Yeah, they never fought. They never fought. I looked it up.
Okay.
And Mez says no.
Yeah, because I know for a fact it wasn't in UFC, but I didn't know if they did face off somewhere else. I figured it'd be more newsworthy, and I don't think Brock ever fought out of the UFC.
So Brock lost to Seth, right, and looks bad. So what I would do is I'd bring Shamrock in and have him get in the ring one night on Raw and be like, he's, oh my God, Shamrock makes his return for the first time and blah blah since blah blah blah. and they build him up, talk about him, what he's going to do. And he comes in, he gets in the ring, and he goes, a lot of people wondered what I was going to be doing tonight. I'm calling that, and he goes, I'm calling that bitch Brock Lesnar out. Next week on Raw, Shamrock, I'm going to be back, and you ducked me in the UFC for so long, and there's all these blah, 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 there's all these rules and regulations and plans that need to be made. But I talked to Vince McMahon, and there don't need to be any plans made here. I'm going to be in the middle of the ring next week, and then have fucking Lesnar just come out and beat the shit out of him. And it's like, so that Lesnar looks strong again. That's his
reintroduction. Yeah, build him back up, but
yeah.
Bring back the Lion's Den, too. Make it feel like a real unsanctioned fight.
Do the fucking Lion's Den again with Lesnar.
Yeah, I was devastated when Shamrock lost to Tito Ortiz. Devastated. They faced off multiple times, but I was so heartbroken. That was you losing in the Super Bowl with the Patriots, that feeling with the Giants, that's how I felt when Shamrock lost to Ortiz.
Yeah.
Because Ortiz was just running his mouth the whole time, and Shamrock was very, I don't want to say prim and proper, but he was a stand-up guy, and you couldn't help but root for him at that point. And I really wanted to see Ortiz get his comeuppance and just get his mouth shut, and it didn't work out like that.
Yeah, then
I was fucking devastated.
I remember someone I know losing money on that, being insane. Dude, you could have Dan Severn interfere in the match. I saw Dan Severn not that long ago. He looks good, but he doesn't look good. You know what that means? You know what I mean? Physically, he looks good, but when he moves, he doesn't look good. But he never looked good. Even in '98, when he came out on Raw, he'd come out all lurchy and shit. He looked like a box, with legs. And it's like the same thing but worse now.
Maybe see what Steve Blackman's up to.
Shamrock just did an interview.
He was the first TNA champ because they took the belt off of Severn, right? For NWA, because he couldn't make the date, I think was the case for that. I think that was the issue because they stripped him of the belt, and then they had the Battle Royal, and when it came down to the last two participants, they had a match for the then NWA title, which was they made into the TNA title. So, and Ken Shamrock had the first TNA championship.
My buddy just
interviewed. But it was still the NWA belt then.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
This is a new sort of...
My buddy Hugsy or Husey or whatever the fuck. I never always forget his name. He just interviewed
mixed martial arts. So talk to me about the move towards your promotion in bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, it started back when I first started fighting back in No Holds Barred era, '93. I fell in love with it. The excitement.
Look at the vein in Shamrock's arm, dude.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Oh, I know. And yeah, I remember when Ortiz was screwing around with Impact. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to get that revenge, but...
I should add Ken Shamrock on the damn show, for Christ's sake.
And yeah, the TNA champion was Angle for the actual TNA title, but the first title awarded was the NWA title in TNA. They had their very first pay-per-view show.
Yeah.
And it was the NWA title.
Yep.
He literally
that was the first TNA champion.
He shot his promo from his TNA fucking promo the same time he interviewed with that other guy. He's got the same shirt on.
Disrespecting everyone. So I'm a champion. 3-time Tough Man champion. First King of Pancras tournament champion.
Look at his arm.
UFC super
fucking massive.
Champion.
That's him at rest.
Yeah, he's at peace right now.
Drew said he looks like he's been run through the face app a few too many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got...
He definitely looks old, but it doesn't look like he's horrible shape.
No. And he was... I listened to him... Damn, was it Rogan? Might have been.
Was he really on Rogan? He's doing a huge tour of media right now, clearly.
It wasn't recent. It was maybe a year or two ago, and he was talking about all he had been through, and he suffered for a while and went through a lot of shit. So
really,
I'm glad that he's doing so well. But he had family issues and health issues and the whole gambit of shit.
I would love to see him naked.
It's massive, I bet.
Give me Ken Shamrock. I love how he's just Jay goes, "It's massive." I bet.
Absolutely.
Oh man,
there's probably a little Shamrock tattoo right above it.
Send me an autograph.
Little old Kenny Shamrock there. Any other news, Jake, that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I got a shit ton of news, but
well,
we mentioned the draft, and they want to. We've said it before. They want to have everything, feel different. So, do you think that they're going to get rid of the wild card rule entirely? I have to assume so, but if they're going with the draft, I imagine that they're going to abolish that as well. Hopefully.
What, the wild card thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it's done there.
Because there's been no update, and I can't see how they would be able to keep that in any way, shape, or form. But you never know.
It's pointless.
Yeah, I can't imagine them keeping that active. I just wanted to know both of your thoughts.
Keeping what active?
The wild card rule. Even if they refine it and revise it to where it's like, only 1 star, even that would be a total failure.
I think they're just going to use it when they want to. They're just going to bring it up when they need to, but pretty much it's like understood almost at this point, which is weird because it goes against a lot of the stuff that Vince usually does, which is like, say it, tell them, say it. Like, yeah. So, but
Spaz Phoenix made a great point earlier when he said that, that's why they, were touting, basically when they brought in the women's tag titles, they're going to be on NXT, they're going to be on Raw and SmackDown. Like, they're going to go all over to defend these things. And that was kind of the allure of the women having the titles because obviously there weren't enough teams on the main roster, so they can go to NXT as well and maybe even NXT UK. Like, there was all this discussion, and the wild card rule fucked that up. So I hope that's abolished entirely and just forgotten about, looked back on as a total failure and never brought back again. Because it ruined the shakeup. It ruined so many storylines. I'm really curious to see who lands where. I mean, there's so many possibilities, but this is a really big chance for them to refresh everything. And think about it, what a perfect time. They have the 20th anniversary. They get through all their storylines. You get through everything at that point, and then you can really just fully refresh here. You get new everything, new feuds. I'm hoping this is the revitalization that we needed. And I think that knowing AEW is releasing, near that time as well, that this is their plan. They're going to really try and give themselves the shot in the arm they need here.
Right.
I mean, things being discussed. Yeah. That is the one benefit WWE has over AEW right now is their women's division. AEW doesn't really have much of one at this point. It will develop, but especially in the terms of storytelling, never mind. I'm not talking about talent per se, but they have a larger roster and they have a lot of story going on. So I'm curious to see what AEW does. But they did announce that we will finally get at AEW Full Gear Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. I'm glad Moxley can return that soon. I mean, you were saying November that soon, but still, I was very worried that it might be a 6-month thing with him. You never know. And infections are tricky to dispatch and dispel from the body. There's no guarantee. It's not like a shoulder healing and you got a specific time frame. So
that's why I was surprised that they announced it so fast, because I was just like, I didn't think they would have like a time frame for Moxley so soon.
Yeah, I was genuinely shocked that they did announce it, and because, but I think they want to sell tickets and they know that that's going to be a driving force. This Friday, September 6th, tickets go on sale at noon at AEWTix.com. So you can get those there. And that's the match that they're hoping to drive ticket sales. But there's some things I wonder too. Will they have Omega lose again? I don't think they want to have Moxley lose, certainly. That to me reeks of DQ finish.
Yeah, you're right. I could definitely see that. Good point.
Omega's lost several times already, so it's worrisome, honestly.
Well, I mean, if they're going to keep it going, I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah, it would help advance the feud as well. So, like you said,
plus people want to see Moxley in that environment. I mean, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world, honestly.
Yeah. Other bits of news here is that this Monday, obviously, we're going to have Stone Cold Steve Austin there at Madison Square Garden.
What?
And the initial idea was to not only boost ticket sales, but it's also because they're going up against the Monday Night Football doubleheader. So they're hoping that Austin, being the special guest ring enforcer, I don't know how you want to label it, but he's going to be the man in charge to keep order during the contract signing between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. The hope is that apparently Becky Lynch requested and asked to have a segment with Stone Cold in WWE. Even if it's just, something backstage, she still said that she wanted to do it to lead into her feud with Sasha, for the pay-per-view.
Right.
This is the go-home show for Clash of Champions as well. So I'm curious to see if they do something with Stone Cold with her in the back, because her giving Austin the stunner had me giddy. That had me smiling from ear to ear.
So I was gonna say, yeah. Did you see her on the Austin show?
Yeah, it was a great episode. Every episode's been really interesting so far. I like what they're doing, and I especially enjoyed her story and their chemistry.
It was fun to see her do the stunner at the end.
That brought a huge smile to my face.
But I mean, I'm not against the Becky Austin thing as long as it's done well. But I just don't know what the hell they would do, unless my only guess would be if Sasha interfered in the whole contract signing afterwards, and then maybe made a jab at Seth Rollins dating Becky, and then that's what, you know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah, even if they don't even have to worry about focusing on the feud. They could just have them do something interacting with each other backstage. I think that would be fun. But the fact that she publicly requested, I think, is a interesting tidbit there. Hopefully they get something out of it, because I think that they have enough chemistry that them two doing just a quick little interaction backstage before he comes out could be beneficial for Becky.
True. Especially with all the momentum she's been getting. Do you think she's going to... we'll talk probably more about this next week. Holy crap, because next week is go home for Clash of Champions. Oh my dog.
I think I can kind of guess what you're saying, but do you think she's in an upswing?
Do you think that Sasha's going to win?
Ooh, no.
I don't think so either. I think they're going to stretch this thing out as long as they can.
I think that they're going to try and lead this into, if they bring back Evolution again, that they would have her get the belt then. I think that would be their goal.
Are they doing another? They're not doing another Evolution pay-per-view, right?
Originally they said no. Then they said maybe. Then they said they didn't have the star power.
Oh yeah, that was right. Yeah,
but now that Sasha's back, they're considering it again. So
weird.
I hope they do. That was my favorite event last year entirely, and I know that sounds totally SJW.
No, it was the best pay-per-view of the whole year. I agree with you.
I love that hands down. They handled it with a good amount of respect as it needed, but they made it feel legitimate, and it had compelling stories, interesting bouts, and great wrestling. So it was just thoroughly enjoyable, and especially when you consider how lackluster Mania and SummerSlam were last year. The Rumble left a bit to be desired as well. So you saw both Asuka and Nakamura win, and then that got overshadowed by Ronda, and then they lost at Mania, so that was a huge disappointment. So to get that women's pay-per-view to be as successful and entertaining, especially because I think my expectations were so that they really blew it out of the water.
Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot of people they weren't excited for it, but then as obviously time grew through, it was like, holy shit, this is actually one of the best pay-per-views. Yeah,
no kidding. You should be super excited too. WWE Superstar is returning to action. That's right, Connor. Sin Cara. He's going to be back September 27th at a live event wrestling for WWE. No word if they're going to put him back on TV.
What?
No word if he's going back to TV, but he will be back. He tweeted it out himself. It's time, WWE Live, September 27, 2019.
Can we just back up for a second and just think about this for a moment? Remember when Triple H became more behind the scenes and was kind of being more of an active role in that? Sin Cara was the very first thing that it was his project.
Yeah, his big acquisition.
Yeah.
Remember how much they put into it too, with the entrance and the lights changing during the match, and they tried like hell.
And the dildo shirt.
Yeah, and it just it didn't.
I cannot wait. Now I can't wait to do Sin Cara on the retrospective.
That'll be entertaining as well. We have an update on Casey Catanzaro. She has indicated that she eventually wants to return to WWE and could be training for that after her recovering. But that could possibly be a year or so out. She's very determined to get back and was told the door is always open. Because originally it was stated that she was expected to hand in her notice to WWE, or she was ready to. And then she gave people a little bit of hope with, her initial tweet. And then, they said that, well, she might not be giving her notice. She might just be stepping away until, she can heal up and then come back when she's ready. So
is she definitely gone?
It's up in the air still from what I'm getting from her side of things and her Twitter. And yeah, it's odd, but
her
original tweet, it says, I'm going to do things people have never seen before. And it's like, okay, it just made it had a positive outlook for her future, but you just weren't sure what, and there was a video snippet that she included of her in the ring. So I take that as her being willing to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's against it coming back. I'm just surprised that she kind of more or less abruptly left. Like, I know she's got the back injury she's dealing with and all that, but it just, you see her so featured heavily on, like, the Performance Center YouTube channel. She was featured in, like, the Ricochet thing on the network. Like, I'm just surprised, I guess.
Yeah, and I was as well, and I hope she has a speedy recovery and isn't putting in her notice, but we'll see what happens there. Keeping with the women's theme, as we've been, discussing for the past few stories, WWE 2K20 is going to have the Women's Evolution be the showcase mode, with the 4 horsewomen being the main focus. So there's many matches, starting all the way back at NXT TakeOver, with Charlotte Flair taking on Natalya, with Rick and Brett in both their corners. And it's going to lead all the way to the triple threat with Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte at WrestleMania 35. There's many matches included. We've got Sasha versus Charlotte versus Bayley versus Becky at NXT TakeOver Rival, Night of Champions 2015, WrestleMania 32, 33, 34, Hell in a Cell, Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks, the first female Hell in a Cell. There's a lot of Evolution pay-per-view when Becky took on Charlotte, so there's many matches included there. I think there's 15 in total, but it's interesting that they're doing the Women's Evolution. There's a few matches that I wish they would have added that, Matt the Misfit was discussing before, so
I'm not
we'll see what happens, but it's good. They're going all in with Becky this year.
I'm not surprised that they're going around this route, because I knew it was eventually going to happen where they were going to see the Women's Evolution
I was curious what else they would do at this point too, because with a lot of the showcase modes, it felt like soon enough they were going to have to start scraping the barrel. We've done Austin, we've done DX, we've done it's like we've gone through a lot of what would be considered overly marketable. Yeah, everybody has their favorite that we'd love to see featured, but they've done The Undertaker, where they did all the the WrestleMania matches and stuff like that. At one point, Daniel Bryan's was last year. So as far as them being super marketable, I think this is a step in a good direction, but I'm not,
Truth be told, I'm probably skipping 2K20. It's nothing against, like, there are features of it that are interesting, but honest to God, like, aside from the Bray Wyatt Fiend character being in the game, there's nothing that's really interesting me about it this year.
That's my only regret, that I wish they would do a roster update. I wish they would charge half the price of the game, $30, and do a full roster update where they add in an update of all the characters, whether it be theme songs, attires, entrances, update the championships, you know what I mean? Things like that. They do that, so they do a full roster update. They add in new arenas that they've used since then, like of the last year. And then instead of having to change the base game, they can just add more moves, more DLC. Do it that way versus a full price title each year that doesn't really get much time to be updated or much love because there's such a quick turnaround.
If they were to do that, I would say have a game come out every 2 years then.
I mean, they could just do it, where they update it frequently, and because like graphics.
Every game is like that though. Like every,
I know. I wish they would do it with all of the 2K games, Madden, NFL. FIFA, all that stuff, because there's not enough changes year to year that warrants a full $60 price tag.
Or dude, release fucking patches like every 3 months or something, where it's
that's what I'm saying to do. Yeah,
$15.
do a twice a year update $15 each or $30 for the their season pass, because the way they do the season pass, they're just adding content that's usually either A, already on disc, or B, that was planned but it's still not going to be relevant to the current product. It's old at that point because they've been working on it since the year before. So realistically, they can add The Fiend, they can add and main roster updates and NXT arrivals and things like that. I think that would be more beneficial but they're greedy. They want the full price tag, and they include microtransactions and season passes. And luckily enough, Gorilla Strong purchased the game for Joe and I last year, and I barely had a chance to get into it because we were so inundated with other titles, and then my capture card broke, so I never got to do what I had planned on with it. And recently I found a way to capture some footage, so later on in the week I was going to throw a video up my YouTube. It's more of a comedy type thing. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to test that out. And I'm just, I wish they would do it differently, though, because there's no real interest to waste money, in my opinion, on this year's title. There's just not enough that warrants the full price tag. Yeah. And you can't just get the base game for $60, because then you're not getting The Fiend. You're not getting, because everything's behind the pre-order bonuses, and then you need the roster season pass for an extra $30 to get the rest of the characters anyways. So
imagine
it's
if
a
they didn't
$100
have
price
the Fiend.
tag.
They didn't have
the whole
Fiend
package.
What would have they done if they didn't have the Fiend?
Yeah, no kidding. I think that's driving a lot of sales for them. And also, I mean, Gorilla Strong, nice enough as he was, he got us the bundled deluxe edition last year, and then I think it was like 4 weeks later, and it was down to a quarter of the original price because sales were so abysmal. So
yep.
That's disheartening too, when they, you pay full price and then you get nothing. You get screwed for being an early adopter. So I don't want to say I won't get it at all, but I'm definitely going to wait. There's other games that are coming out that I'm more interested in. Borderlands 3, Destiny's got its update, things like that. So Donald Trump reportedly responded to WWE's invitation for his SmackDown appearance on Fox as well.
Ooh.
And they said in a Patreon exclusive update, President Trump is expected to politely decline the invitation due to his schedule. So we'll see what happens, but
smart move.
WWE doesn't need to get political, but they've had, there's less controversial guests they can have to bring to Fox. And WWE still denies that they extended any kind of invitation to Donald Trump or his cabinet team, whatever you want to call it. But still, that they would have loved to have gotten him on. He's been a part of WWE before, so they could even frame it as, he's returning instead of coming on as president. But Vince would cream his pants to get the president of the United States, current president, on WWE television.
Well, I mean, wasn't WrestleMania 2 at Trump Plaza and WrestleMania 4 at Trump Plaza, or was it 4 and 5? I can't remember.
4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Yeah, so
I believe.
I mean, dude, this guy's been a part of WWE forever.
Yeah. Hell, they did the Battle of the Billionaires at 23. Raw. Trump bought Raw at one point.
Yeah, he bought Raw and refunded people's ticket money. And there's been storylines for ages. Like you said, with the Battle of the Billionaires, he shaved Vince's head. And speaking of shaved heads, hilarious. Too, another story is Vince reportedly now, grain of salt thing, but we know Vince loves Baron Corbin. That's evidently obvious. And this story says that people close to Vince pleaded with him not to push Baron Corbin because they believe Corbin wouldn't be able to put asses in seats as a WWE champion. But Vince really wanted to have Corbin be the Universal Champion.
Yikes.
Yeah, so Baron Corbin's still going strong in the King of the Ring tournament, though, so anything's possible.
I think he's going to go to the finals.
I foresee him going. My guess was that we were going to have Ricochet and Samoa Joe again, either if they don't eliminate themselves, like killing each other, and Baron Corbin benefits from that. That was my guess, and then we'll see Samoa Joe and Ricochet feud past the tournament. And we'll see him move on, and then we might get Gable to go up against Baron Corbin.
Yeah, that's my guess for the finals.
What's up to the chat, by the way, everybody that's just jumping in? What's up? We're going all night on Out of Nowhere. We're doing wrestling. We're talking about our wives. We're talking about your wives. We're talking about kidney stones, and we're talking about drinking, baby. We're talking about drinking, and we got a top donation coming in. Michael Canini's Little Peeny, $9.50. and he's going to take home that digital championship. By the way, he does have a giant peenie. Unknown callers on the phone. Hello.
Yo, this is Frankie from Brooklyn. Is this the Joe Cronin show?
Frankie, what's up? I'm going to kill myself. Now, what's going on? How you doing?
I just want to say, you're the fucking man. Have you ever sucked a dick?
No. Actually, I've sucked Jake's once.
And that really doesn't count as a dick.
Well, it's good to know that you come to the facts, you know? Wrestling is the bestest thing you ever seen, you know? And by the way, Joe, suck a dick.
Is that Sean's view?
It sounded dangerously close to him.
Sean's view is from Fall River, Massachusetts. He is not from Brooklyn, New York. He was from... I know he sounds like he's from New York, but he is from Fall River, Massachusetts, which is way more scummy than Brooklyn, to be honest. But
well, scientists said also if you smoke crack during the third trimester, then you're likely to have a
dude,
Sean's View fan child.
I really wish he didn't delete that video so you could have seen it, dude. There's been a lot of there's been a lot of flagging. There's been a lot of fagging. There's been a lot of and he paused, like he knew. It was like, what the hell? He goes, there's been a lot of flagging. And Leah was in the other room on her computer, and she's like, why are you listening to that idiot? I'm like, well, I'm listening to him because it's fucking hilarious. He's on some drama about his ex-girlfriend or something. It's stupid. And then he's like, he rhymes like 5 things, and then he gets to flagging, and he goes, and there's been a lot of flagging. He goes, there's been a lot of tagging, there's been a lot of flagging, there's been a lot of fagging, and like, it was, oh my God, dude. And the video, I'm telling you, as I was pressing the button to rip the video from the internet, it disappeared and was like, not unavailable, removed by user, and I was so devastated.
Yeah. That's always how it goes, the gold with the wind.
Dude, it's such a disservice to all of you. Everybody would have enjoyed this video. It was really good, man. It was really good. But yeah, what's up, Maddie? What's up, Johnny? No drama here. Yeah, there's no drama. We don't have drama here. I mean, we do sometimes, but I mean, not really. That's not the goal of the show. I don't know why you were saying.
We're just here to have fun.
I don't know what you're talking about, but there is no drama, man. Exactly right. I mean, what the fuck? We're talking wrestling. We're talking about cock. We're talking about having a good time. We're talking about drinking. We're talking about sucking. No, I'm just kidding. But we're talking about a lot of shit. And
like F4W Online reports, now that you're back, I can bring this up. Ryan Ward is now out of his previous role in the company. They're saying he previously held position as lead writer for SmackDown Live. And it's reported that there are some signs of trouble between Ward and McMahon. This could all be due to all of the script ripping and changing that Vince pretty much makes every week.
Yep.
And it says here at this time, Ward is being listed as out on personal leave. Ed Koskey will be moving over from Raw to work with Bischoff on the blue team. And
same thing with Road Dogg. That's Road Dogg's guy, man. Ward, I bet he goes down back to work with Road Dogg.
Yeah, and Jonathan Beckstrom will now be the lead writer of Raw and will work with Paul Heyman. So that's according to F4W Online. That's interesting to hear that. So I wonder what changes we'll see there. But you know what? Doesn't matter who the writers are because Vince rips it up and changes it anyways. And if he's not there, he calls in on Skype and fucking...
Well, it's worse on SmackDown. It's worse on SmackDown for everybody because on SmackDown you get a little more leeway than you do on Raw. So a lot of times you're left to your own stuff. And then Vince approves it or whatever later on. But then every once in a while, you know, Vince wants to fully care. And so then when you've got something planned and before...
He gets a bug up his ass.
Yeah, and Vince before had approved it kind of. Vince went, all right, whatever the hell you want to do. And then Vince goes, we're doing this, like, blah, blah. But what about all this stuff that I had planned? Like, that was the whole point in this. That doesn't matter. Figure out a way to get out. You know, so, like, SmackDown is way more frustrating because on Raw... It feels like McMahon is working like on top of you with what he wants to do and with what you're doing. But on SmackDown, he gives you leeway. He approves everything still, but he kind of doesn't care as much until he cares as much. And then that's like really enraging. And I think we saw that with Road Dogg, you know, getting frustrated with so much stuff. And now obviously it would make sense that Ryan Ward would be upset too. Who probably took over most of the shit over there after Road Dogg left. You know, I mean, I know that Pat Buck got hired and everything. They brought him on, which is hilarious because, like, what the hell is he? You know, I mean, he knows a lot about wrestling and stuff, but I mean, it's that producer role. He's never done anything like that. I wouldn't have thought. But 8 whoever this is 845. Hello, what's up?
Yeah, I'm Sean's View. Do you want to see my dick?
So take it
You
out.
want to see my dick?
Yeah. I haven't heard that donation in a while.
You want to see my pee? I'm Sean's View. Don't screw with me. I will show you my pee-pee. What's up? What's up, man?
That was awesome.
Yeah, that song, I think that
Those
was the
pipes.
song that got me into your show, man.
Thanks, man. Holy shit, dude. It's like when like a singer or something hears somebody else do their song, it's like flattering. That was really cool. Yeah. What's going on, man?
No, just what the hell? I was on my way to go to work at 6 a.m. in the morning, and all I hear is about this random dude rambling about Stephanie McMahon having a purple penis. What the hell was that? And I'm going to leave you as that.
All right.
Tell me what the hell I'm going to see you on YouTube. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you.
You got it. I was streaming a 10-hour stream the other day, doing my kind of a Q&A, like anything goes Q&A, video game stream on Sunday night. I always do a gaming stream on Sunday night. And this guy, in the middle of my Q&A, called up out of nowhere. He calls in. He's like, yo, Stephanie McMahon has a fucking purple dick. And I think a lot of you guys heard this by now. But it was just like, what the fuck is he talking about? But here's a little sample of this crazy bastard.
It just got crazier as time went on.
I'm telling you, you are fucked. And
By the way, he sounds like the Ultimate Warrior. Like, he literally sounds like Jim Hellwig, like come back from the dead.
they are fucked, and you are all being dragged to hell, sonny boy. So you get ready for that. You got it, punk?
Does she really have a purple penis? How did you find out about this?
Yeah,
I love that part. That's the best
I'm
part.
telling you, you are fucked. It's a man. But it's Stephanie McMahon. And Stephanie McMahon is a man. And he's got a purple penis. Did you know that, boy?
No, but I do now.
I'm telling you, you are fucked. And they are fucked. And you are all being dragged to hell, sonny boy. So you get ready for that. You got it, punk?
Wait, does she really have a purple penis? How did you find out about this?
Yeah, I have pictures of Stephanie Sean McMahon's purple dick, and it's sickening.
Connor, did you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that guy. Somebody thought he was Minnesota Vikings fan. I'm like, it's not Vikings fan. It sounds like it kind of sounds like Silver Roll, his like buddy or whatever. Like honestly,
he didn't stutter and drool on himself the whole way through.
Yeah, he was like clear as day. Like that guy sounds like a guy who was like polishing his gun as he was talking to us. Like that's the guy I feel like that we're supposed to like say something. You know, like see something, say something. I feel like that's the guy. Like that's the say something right there.
Whoever said he sounded like Shoe Nice is onto something.
He sounds kind of like Shoe Nice, yeah. But I think he sounds like Ultimate Warrior, man. Like, I mean, like let's compare. Let's try to fucking compare. Let's put Shoe Nice up, and let's not Shio Nice. Jesus, Shio Nice came up. Let's put Shoe Nice up here, and let's see if his fucking.
Because either way, Thanos, it wasn't even Thanos.
It doesn't sound like that to me. You know.
I will finish the bottle and I will say thank you. And if you want to see an aftermath vid of one of the drunkest Shoe Nices ever,
that
get
kind
me
of
to a 25,000 vote lead.
Pretty close.
I don't even want a house standing by. A couple of my buddies, but they just don't want to be on camera.
He's just not an angry guy, though. Like, the demeanor is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, Joe, you know. Like, I've never seen... I have to see Shoe Nice angry. Like, maybe Shoe Nice angry. Oh, maybe this is it. Let's listen to this.
Hey, everyone. Shoe Nice again. Well, basically, Furious Pete, you know what you're doing, bro. You're blowing out all these cheap...
I know what you're doing, bro. Did you hear that?
Chicken nugget videos, and then you're going to retire from YouTube. I'm not stupid, bro. Fuck your house in Santa Monica Beach, dude. Fuck your ugly ass fiance.
It kind of does sound like him. Let's go back to the call. That's gross.
And she calls me every fucking day and bothers the fuck out of me because she's an idiot and she's the devil.
Yeah, that guy. See, this guy's more manly, like, but more terrifying. Like, than Shoe Nice. Like, It's not quite. But then if I pull up like the Ultimate Warrior, he sounds like the Warrior. Listen to this.
When you talk about Warrior, Ultimate Warrior, you talk extensions. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start. I mean, a whole cartoon series could be made out of that. I joke with people. I used to joke with people this way. I said, you know, if you lift that flap of extension on the back of Terry's neck, you would find the Wizard of Oz.
Kind of sounds like that.
And Vince McMahon is the devil.
Yeah. I can hear it, yeah.
Like just a little bit, like it's especially in this one.
Boys, they don't get any criticism from me. They get the level of respect and admiration they deserve as they go about trying to make their own way in a very tough and challenging business. I do, though, tell the truth and call absolute bullshit on guys like you. Guys who have had their time in the business, had their runs in the business.
Sounds just like the Warrior.
And that's why all these wrestlers die. And I am taking them back to hell, and I'm never letting them out again.
Well,
you got that?
Listen, hey, you got to do what you got to do.
You think this is all this shit is just happening because it's happening? You think Trump is this and everything? This is a showdown. You're being judged.
Like, I mean, it really terrifyingly sounds like the Warrior back to life, bro. It's really weird. I think it's the Warrior come back to life to go after the WWE for all their wrongdoings. Like it's
Okay, WWE, I'll play your game. Joe, WWE completely botched the Roman storyline.
Yeah.
Hey Joe, if Rowan admitted to pushing over the crates and crashing his car into Roman's car, who was responsible for driving the forklift? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm really confused too, Mike. I mean, maybe it will come out that Bryan did it, but then why would he fight with Bryan? It makes no sense. The ending to that was stupid. That was one of the worst things about SmackDown, I think.
Yeah, and I went back and rewatched it.
Thanks, Mike Litteris. Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez dropping the $9.99. You are the new top donator, Christian Rodriguez.
I was more or less confused because, you know, they set it up as, all right, Rowan's the threat. He's the one that's guilty. Bryan had no idea, was just guilty by association. But it literally puts so many plot holes in there that it's just, fucking...
It's weird.
Yeah.
They just abandoned whatever they were...
It seems that way. And anytime they have a plan, like you said, they're either, you know, too late with it, like they react too late and get behind on the pulse, or you know, they just... Or they get in their own way. I always say they shoot themselves in the foot, and that seems to be a combination of the two for this one. Like they had a cool, interesting angle with them. You know, it wasn't the breakthrough, you know, best thing ever, but all right, a whodunit, a little bit of a mystery. It worked.
Ken Shamrock versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Thinking face.
Brian Alex, thanks for the donation, man. Brian, I mean, I'm game for something like that. I don't think anybody else is really, but.
That sounds more like a SummerSlam thing.
Yeah, or like a side thing, or even a Raw. Like I said, a Raw gimmick would be nice. You know, just put it on Raw. You know, and
yeah.
I think that would be acceptable for some kind of an angle or some kind of thing to do.
Just what if, you know, Luke Harper is helping?
I'm sorry, Tommy NC just died.
You know, what if Luke Harper is helping Eric Rowan, and that's how they get him back on TV?
I mean,
you know?
it just, remember we've said this, but it feels like they really are not going to bring Harper back. It's very weird. Oh, come on,
That's how
Tommy.
I reacted.
Tommy, please. Tommy, if you're going to be on the show, please relax.
What you do? You could not let
Sounded like he was juggling something hot.
I don't even remember what any of these episodes are from anymore where he flips out. I don't even remember where they're from. He got in a little bit of a fight with Dr. Earl on Monetize This last week, though. I didn't even know they had a beef anymore. I mean, he comes in, like he said he was going to call in the middle of the show. We had Dr. Earl on like we always do, and Tommy came in, and they got in a big fucking goddamn fight. And then Larry Funk's alive. So I'm really pumped about Larry Funk being alive. And here's another one. But I don't know. Anyway, let's take one more unknown caller before we get back.
That sounds like one of my sheep.
Yeah, before as you push them off. Unknown caller, hello.
I heard Tommy screaming, where is he?
Oh, no, my God. This guy sniffs out a Tommy scream. Cookie Monster, how dare you? You son of a bitch.
It's Batman.
Ultimate Warrior did it.
Now we know Ultimate Warrior is the guilty party.
It's like Christian Bale playing Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Man, you are relentless. You are a relentless son of a bitch. You're like JD when I try to apologize to him, and then he says nothing, and then he takes a shot at me on Twitter, and then I got to verbally assault him on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
From Connecticut.
From Connecticut. I'm just kidding. I'm see people always like, oh, you're the one that always brings him up. It's like, no, he brings me up on like little comments here or there, so then I know what he's saying, so I respond.
Well, be real about it, because he can't reply to anything. What does he have to do? He's got to quote tweet you so that he can enrage his audience to go and attack you, all while bitching that I'm being attacked in the first place.
Right. Meanwhile, we're the ones getting death threats and swats and fucking doxed, like, and all kinds of shit. We're the ones that's actually happening to. Or the strikes.
His fucking fan base to go and assault us verbally on fucking Twitter for the end of time.
Right, I know.
But his original fucking stance to die on was that, somebody's attacking me. Get everybody else. It's got to be their fault.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done that in a way, but only in this community, baby. The community here. But you know what? The good thing is, all the snakes in this community are gone from my show. They are all gone. They can't. They're either banned or gone. They can't even call into my show anymore. So there's no more fucking nightmare drama here, baby. It hasn't been in weeks because I have cleansed the JCS army. The JCS army is in the chat, and they're hot and they're wet and they're hard and they're just creaming and they're ready to go. Guys, tomorrow night is Throwdown, and it's going to take place over on the Evil Spectrum channel. This Friday night is Monetize This, also taking place on Evil Spectrum. If you forgot about that, make sure you go subscribe to my other channels. Evil Spectrum, Corrupted Nation, Shame on News, all my other YouTube channels. But really importantly, Evil Spectrum, because that's the one that doesn't have the other stuff that you might not like. Evil Spectrum will just have once in a while gaming stuff and Monetize This and Throwdown for a little while. But I do plan on having Monetize This return right here to the Joe Cronin Show, maybe on Championship Night in a few weeks or whenever that is. And big stipulation for Drew. He says he wants to put his title on the line this Friday night on Monetize This. And something
what
about
title?
if
you have a title.
You'll get it eventually. It's going to take a while to get here from Canada, man. Might have to get another one. Fucking, it's going to get lost in Canada.
You should try and win my Out of Nowhere championship.
That is true. In fact, you know what? I like that one, and I like the idea that I think I could penetrate your championship with my privates, and like
I'm wearing it backwards.
Let the belt dangle like it's on me, like I'm in it, like so. I stuck it through the belt, so I'm sticking out of the belt, and like my dick's wearing your belt. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Spin it around like a necklace.
Oh yeah, dude! It will be the give me a hell yeah, jizzaroonie.
The only wild card rule should be champions. That is all. So over the brand split. Football season about to kill WWE ratings. Cheers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about to really drop. Brandon Colby, thanks, Brandon. And I do have Patreon questions. I'm going to get to those in just a minute. We have lots of questions on Patreon. Joe. You don't think so?
Sorry, there's so much fucking lag on my end tonight. I apologize. I don't think that the ratings are going to drop off much anymore. I think that anybody that usually watches football and would tune to Raw isn't watching anymore. I think they're at their core audience of people that are just going to stay to watch. I don't think they have many flippant people left or people that are going to go back and forth. And I think they're pretty much you're talking maybe 100,000 that'll go between Monday Night Football and Raw is my guess. But it's not going to be this huge drop. I think they're at their lowest now.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think you're
close
about
to rock bottom.
I think you're about right, but here's the problem about that: the trends don't back that up. Like every year, no matter what the rating is for WWE, once football starts, it takes a certain percentage drop, about the same every year. Not as much, but it still does. So, you know what I mean? Like, you're still going to see probably a chunk of people drop off the same way as last year, but the percentage is down because there's less people watching.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the smallest drop off.
Oh, it will be because it's the smallest amount of people watching.
Because it's the lowest ratings. Yeah, that's what I'm basically.
No, I get what you're saying. And by the way, Blinded Fate, thank you for becoming a $5 patron on Patreon, and Lizzie L, thank you for becoming a $10 patron on Patreon. Appreciate it. You'll get a bunch of bonus content. I uploaded a 1-hour podcast this morning. It's up on Patreon now in case anybody missed it. And that's it. What else you got, Jake? I'm sure you got.
To finish the earlier thought, Eric Rowan tweeted, "I've got no strings to hold me down," obviously saying that, there's no one being the puppet master for him. And Bray Wyatt responded to that saying, "Come home, baby boy." So that led, everybody's juices to run wild all over their Twitter verse.
Wow.
And basically it comes down to people thinking that, maybe Bray is the mastermind behind Eric Rowan, or maybe Bray is going to form some type of new version of his Wyatt family, or they'll team up, I think he was just being sly on Twitter. Bray he's been trollish since he's gotten this, gimmick off the ground, and he said a lot, he had me laughing the other night with his, "Hey, Bray looks jacked, pass it on" kind of quotes and tweets. And so I don't think there's anything to it. I think it's just Bray being Bray, but you never know.
Yeah, it's like
it's worth mentioning because obviously that's where Eric Rowan came from. It was the Wyatt
come
family,
home and get injured again. Come home and you can go out with an injury.
Yeah, but Bray, he says, "Yo, Bray looks so jacked, pass it on." That just cracked me up.
That is pretty funny.
Besides that, Carmella apparently suffered a health scare. People are assuming, she didn't specify as to what, but she put on a long post, I believe it was on Instagram, and she went ahead and mentions how she had a health scare that shook her world, and she didn't reveal exact details, but she did allude to the fact that it may have been some sort of bad injury, and that she took time off to spend time with the people that mean the most to her. And that, explained why she was quiet on social media, and she was staying away from trolls online, and it helped her live in the here and now. So she's doing better now, but it really scared her. And, so it's interesting to see how much she dealt with. And you see people on the show week after week, and that kind of explains why she wasn't wrestling for some points in time. And she was still on the road, but the Miz is possibly working injured right now, and you see these people week in and week out, but you don't realize how much they're dealing with, and it's certainly something to kind of peel the layers of the onion back and consider.
Yeah, that's so they don't know what's wrong with her, or she didn't say what's wrong with her?
She didn't specify, no, but she said that it was very frightening, and it changed her outlook on the world. So
God damn,
I wonder if we hear more now. She said she's doing better, and it her taking a leave of absence and getting some time off and time away and spending time with loved ones really helped. So glad she's doing better, but certainly sounds very distressing for sure. And they're saying that the Miz is possibly injured, something with his right hand, and that could be an issue for him. We don't know what's going to happen with the IC title match, if it is an issue, or if he can just hold off until after Clash of Champions. So that's interesting too, because Nakamura hasn't had hardly any title defenses up to this point, and now he's got a storyline in the works, and it's certainly unsettling to think that the Miz would be hurt and that would cancel this title match once again. We never got the match with Ali, and now if the Miz has to pull out because of an injury, that would really suck too for Nakamura.
Oh man, that would have. It's just a mess. This Intercontinental belt is a mess too. That's one of their biggest issues right now. Besides the tag belts and lots of other things, but to me, that's we know how I feel. That IC belt has to be. It has to be better represented. Dude, Ali and Elias would have been great in an IC match after what they did the other night. Put those guys in a goddamn ladder match for the IC belt or something. Like,
Yeah.
get that out of there. Let Shinsuke and Shane and what the fuck? What's his name?
Sami Zayn.
Let Sami Zayn and Shinsuke go on their little run without that belt. It would have been better if they didn't have it, I feel like.
Yeah, it's almost being held hostage at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Scarlett Bordeaux apparently was at the Performance Center for a tryout, allegedly, so that's interesting.
Yeah, she's being feverishly searched online right now. She definitely did a lot today or something with WWE.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're going to pick her up.
She was seen at the Performance Center, and she's got a lot of assets for certain, so... she's popular online. She has like a big following.
What about Kat Nazzaro leaving and Kylie Ray?
We discussed that when you were away before. That
oh, okay. We talked about that.
She kind of left it open-ended on her Twitter. She posted a little positive message saying that, she basically made it look like it was a positive spin to it. And from what we've heard from different reports is that she's not putting in her notice. That was a little, jump the gun for reporting. And that hopefully she can just heal from her injury and make a return later on, that the door is always open. So, but she definitely has to get through this injury first.
We have, I believe we have video. Can you believe this? Of Jericho reuniting with his championship, everybody. Right now, it's what everybody's been waiting to see on the Joe Cronin Show on Outta Nowhere. Connor from OKFabe, Jake DeMarco, a countdown ended. Everybody's here to witness Chris Jericho receive his AEW championship back.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, my God.
Hi. I'm AEW champion Chris Jericho. And less than 24 hours after I launched a worldwide investigation to find my missing championship title, it's been returned to me. And it's not because of any law enforcement agency that was too busy with posting pictures on Twitter and then deleting them and then posting them again, or a funny meme or a clever gif. It's because of me. It's because I put the fear of God into the hearts of those who robbed me, who committed grand larceny. I told you I hired the best professional private investigators in the world today. And as a result, I got back the most coveted prize in professional wrestling today. The most coveted prize in the world, period. Worth more than Marcellus Wallace's briefcase. More
By the way, everyone that was like, why did they put the belt on Jericho? He's 50. He's blah, blah, blah.
You fucking stupid.
We literally told you early in the show when we went over everything that he gets over. So can you imagine him getting a belt over? Duh.
Valuable than Han Solo dipped in carbonite. More critically revered than the Ark of the Covenant. The AEW Championship title is back where it belongs. Over the shoulder of the champion. And as I sit in my palatial estate in my beautiful mansion, drinking a little bit of the bubbly,
he's hammered.
I once again demand, and rightfully so, now more than ever, a thank you from the entire AEW fan base, from the entire AEW roster, backstage, front office, in the ring, all across the board, because I did once again exactly what I told you I was going to do. I got this championship back, and I am never, ever letting it out of my sight again. I'm never going to lose it. I'm never going to be robbed of it. You're going to have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands if you want to take this from Chris Jericho ever again. And that's fine. I'm in no rush as I await for all of you to bow down on your knees and thank me. It's good to be Le Champion.
Yeah, he's hammered.
I mean, he drinks all the time. I was telling somebody this a while, like years ago, because I follow him closely on Instagram and Twitter, years past even. And if you just follow him enough, you realize, like, almost every goddamn video, this fucker's drinking a beer, drinking a mixed drink. When I saw him in person a couple times, the guy was drinking, buying people drinks, accepting drinks. I mean, he's living the rock star life. He really is. Like, there's nothing wrong. I'm not criticizing anything. He has a couple of drinks, but I mean, like, that's why the shape he's in. Like, I think he's in good shape, but he would be in more phenomenal shape if he wasn't drinking. That like sort of bulginess, that comes.
Yeah, that's a beer belly.
Yeah, that's
type.
from him. Like, I'm working my ass out, but at the same time, I'm drinking every other night. It's got to be like every other night. I'd love to talk to him about it because I'm curious. I mean, not to like be
You're
like,
not
oh,
shitting on him. It's just the truth.
yeah, it's just like, dude, man, you really are a rock star, bro. How do you do this, like, with all the stuff you're doing? Or is this a visual? Am I getting this wrong? Where you're drinking like once every week or once in a while, but in videos you always have a drink, but in videos he always has a drink. So what else am I supposed to go on? Guy has a drink in every video. Like, he really does. He's loading up. Yeah. And there he is. He's drinking right there. Oh, he's smoking. Now he's smoking. Bama!
Hey guys.
What's up?
As a 12-year-old boy, I remember the Monday Night Wars. I can't wait till now the Wednesday Night Wars, but I'm a little afraid for NXT. I feel Vince will fuck it up to make it unwatchable. We'll see.
I'm a little worried, but not really. Bama, thank you for the 420. I feel like Triple H's influence will... Like, Triple H may lose his mind if that happens. But also, this will be the mini wars. It won't be the big war we had back then.
Ooh. He's here! Oh my God, I love Seth Rollins. Yeah!
Burn it down. Seth's a friggin' bum. Can't wait for Corbin to win the Universal Championship.
That is to walk in as double champ. Burn it down.
DC Derek, you have just become the largest motherfucking donator of the stream. And for that, I'm coming in my devil pants. That's right, my devil pants. Oh wait, I'm on camera. No. Oh, I'm the devil.
Here he is again, Seth. Thank you, DC Derek. And here's Seth again, folks.
That is to walk in as double champ. Burn it down.
Oh my God, dude, I could hear that a fucking million times.
So bad.
You're gonna lose.
Because I'm walking in as double champ. Burn it down. It's like, what the fucking what? I just want to slap him.
That is to walk in as double champ.
So cringy.
You're gonna lose.
Burn it down.
I don't know why, but like when Bret the Hitman Hart was a face, and he said like the goofy cheesy stuff, it worked for me. Like when Bret Hart was like, well, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, and I'm going to go out there and I am going to prove to all these people.
It.
Yeah,
you were
like
that personified. Yes. Seth looks embarrassed. That's why you're not buying it.
He's like,
plus, saying you're the best was ever is different than saying you're going to burn it down. What the hell does that even mean when you break it down? Yeah. It's a stupid catchphrase that doesn't relate to his character. You know,
if he set people on fire, it makes sense.
He did the stomp in the corner. It made sense. Yeah. The Rock was laying the smack down.
Whoop your Rudy Poo ass.
Yeah, it just these things fit.
Yeah, and I mean Hulk Hogan had the Hulkamaniacs. He was going to Hulk up. He was going to say his prayers, take his vitamins, and come out there and do what he's going to do.
Seth doesn't set anything on fire.
You're right.
He's not burning anything down. It'd be different if like, oh, he's a pyromaniac, so or he was legitimately. I know it's like, oh, you're going to tear it down. I understand that's the point of it. It's not a legitimate,
You know who could have gotten Burn It Down over? Burn It Down could have gotten over by Jericho or Kane could have. No, that's
Kane fits with I'm going to burn it down.
I'm going to burn it down. Like, yeah, Kane could get that over. Maybe even The Undertaker could get that over. I believe Macho Man even could have gotten that over just because he's crazy. He would have been like, and I'm going to burn it down because the Macho... Like, you'd be like, wow, I don't know what he's saying, but I believe it. But, like, Seth, he doesn't have the charisma of what he's saying, and Burn It Down doesn't make any sense.
And there's no believability. Yeah,
we are so bashing Seth. I feel bad for him. Like he's probably listening to all this shit, and I don't know whose fault. I don't know what to tell him. He's a great wrestler, Seth. You are a great wrestler, and like a good character. But like it's like, dude, but it's not your fault. You're not. It's not.
They got to figure something.
I mean,
out
you could be Joe Cronin in a fucking basement, fucking talking about wrestling on a mic on a YouTube show. Hoping people donate so that you can live your life. You know what I mean? So be happy you're in WWE, making like fucking $1 million a year as a guy who's the top guy who really is a mid-carder. I mean, fuck it. You know, it's better than what I'm doing. So, Seth, don't be mad at everybody and be blocking JD and everybody and me because you're mad. Well, block JD. He's a midget. But, you know, I mean, come on, man. Wake up, bro.
Speaking of side note, not to change tracks, but I keep forgetting to bring this up. I wanted to mention it before, but I wanted to hear your thoughts from you and Connor. We were talking about, you know, Scarlett getting her tryout, and her boyfriend's Killer Cross in Impact.
Oh, yeah,
and
I've heard about this.
There's a lot going on with this because he had a first blood match at Slammiversary against Eddie Edwards, but he refused to blade. And it wasn't like he was just being a diva about it or anything. He was genuinely concerned for a couple of reasons. They had no blood tests, and he said the absence of blood tests is troubling, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to have somebody else's blood or my blood without it being...
Impact.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised they don't have tests.
There was no medic at the Gillies venue in Dallas, Texas for the show. They had no medic on site. Impact employed no medic.
Wow.
So he's like, I don't want to blade with no medic and no blood testing. He's like, he should be just as worried about my blood as anybody else is. You know, I understand if it's accidental still, but I don't understand why we don't have tests anyways. So the story was later confirmed by, you know, people like Mike Johnson and a few others that said it should be interesting to see if they use him at the tapings because they didn't even call him for the Toronto television tapings. And they didn't even have to get him a hotel because he was staying with family in the city at the time.
Who are you speaking about? I missed that.
Killer Cross.
Oh, Killer Cross. Okay, wow.
Yeah, Scarlett's boyfriend. So that's why they're saying right now, though, he's being punished because he refused to blade during the match. He ended up using a blood packet and bled from his mouth, which was the finish of the match. But Impact was also pissed off that they had to go out and get fake blood for the match because he wouldn't cut himself open.
Well, fuck them.
I mean, how... You just sound like an awful, awful company to work for. I mean, they already let Scarlett go for shitty reasons. They've had so many issues with so many wrestlers, non-payment, you know, all these different things that have come out with Impact over the past 2 years. Really, since everything happened with the Hardys, a lot of shit came to light. But how awful is it? Like, okay, you have no medic on site in case something goes wrong for anybody, not just blood, but, you know, someone gets injured, anything.
They're not only keeping him off the taping supposedly, but he has a working. He's been well known to work in AAA, and Impact's working a relationship with them, and they're actually looking to do like a tour in Mexico soon, and they might bar him from that whole tour.
Wow,
that's terrible. And now people are assuming that if Scarlett's getting a tryout, that he might, you know, be shortly one to follow.
I mean, back in the day, I cut myself in backyard stuff, but we were kids, and I cut myself once in a match in an indie promotion a little bit, but the guy, and they were not happy with me. They were like, you can't do. I didn't understand wrestling as much. I mean, I'd been trained, but I mean, I did not understand. I didn't understand. I didn't think about what I was doing. I was like fucking 20 or 19, and
you just wanted to make it look good.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to cut myself a little bit. And I did, and it was like a little. I didn't want to do anything crazy because I knew. Like, no one's told me about, no one talked. Only the other wrestler knew. So, but I remember a little bit of blood getting on the mat and getting everywhere. And I remember the promoter was like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you, like, what happened? And then he's like, how did you get cut? And I was like, oh, I don't know. You know, I was like... And then the other guy basically ratted me out by accident, gave it up by being like, what'd you cut yourself with? And then the promoter was like, you did cut yourself. Why the fuck would you do that in my ring? My fucking ring has blood on it. And this ring, like, and he was pissed. And he's like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, and that's when I figured out, oh shit, like, I guess I got to go over that stuff with the promoter before doing that. But at the time I thought, like, you do whatever you want to do, whatever. Like, and if that guy hadn't have said, what'd you cut yourself with, you know, the guy would have been like, oh, it was an accident. Okay, well, whatever. But, like, once he found out that it was real, like, it was done on purpose, you know, he was pissed. So, but yeah, so, like, so before that, or if you weren't in the wrestling business, or if you weren't in wrestling, you know, you would think, like, what's the big deal? You know, it's kind of fun. I used to, with my friends, we'd cut ourselves maybe, or we'd put fake blood, or whatever makes it look good. But when you actually are in the business and doing something, you really do have to be way more professional than you really understood, like, that you had to be. And or take the risk of, whatever you're doing. But that is a big risk, like to be like, I'm gonna blade and be like really bloody, because I assume they wanted him to be pretty fucking bloody, like pretty cut, pretty good in there. No tests,
no medic,
and
we've seen it go wrong many a times.
Yeah, I don't blame. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not crazy enough to do it, because I might, because I'm a fucking weirdo myself, and it's a stupid thing. It is dumb, but I might do it. Like if I was there and the crowd was there and they were like, we really wanted the blood, I'd be like, well, I'm not going to kill myself, but I'll cut it. I'll do something, and that's me, but it's stupid. But I might do that. But I don't blame that wrestler, and if it was Killer Cross, especially with what he's got coming up through the horizon. By the way, Killer Cross will be in New York in September 28th for GoPro's first show. I'll be there as well. Killer Cross, what's up, bro? I'll bleed on you when I'm there. I'll be having some fun doing some interviews and things like that. We'll plug more of that later throughout the week once I speak to the owner about the rest of the stuff. But so I don't blame him at all. No medic, no whatever the fuck. That's on the talent. You're not going to provide a medic, and you're not going to have tests. I mean, dude, you're talking about the same company that didn't Impact not that long ago. They wouldn't let people perform because they didn't have their medical work.
Yeah.
Yep. So now, go out and cut yourself, and we don't care now. Like,
exactly,
that's so weird. That's the opposite of what they did. That's why Famous B couldn't perform. On that special where they did Lucha Underground versus Impact. Yeah, Famous B was supposed to have a match, and instead he came out as a manager to cut a promo because he couldn't wrestle because the paperwork for the doctors didn't go through. But here we are now. You're telling me that they're just fucking, just cut him up, and who cares? Like, it's so weird. What changed over there? That's a huge question. What the fuck changed?
Super chat.
Money.
Party.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
All three of you sounds cool and seem having fun together. Let me in. Let's talk together. Whoever swears sounds kicking a asterisk and all that ha.
I am the Fiend.
Hey, Fiend, how you doing, man? Thanks for the 722. And the Fiend's all the way in Australia, so I think that's Australian money. And we have a lot of friends in Australia who listen to the show and throughout the world, so we love you. Yeah, we all love each other. I got to get Connor in here soon, though, someday. Like, get him over here. I got to get you over here. We got to get I mean, you have like a million fucking things going on, so, good luck to that. But, we can say it and make it sound fun,
Dude, my brain is fried just from this week alone.
I said to Jake, I haven't even talked to you about it because I didn't want to bother you, but I was like, Connor is fucked up. Like, and I was like, I knew it because I was like, with all the stuff you're doing.
He sounds just
I'm like,
dead.
You don't sound right. I can tell that you're going through a lot of shit that you're not talking about, but and all the stuff you're doing. I don't know. It's just
running on fumes.
I just remember all the stuff I did when I was working my 50-hour-a-week job and then doing this stuff. You're doing that, so I know. And now you're doing school. Yeah, now adding school, that's crazy.
Yeah. I just don't fucking sleep.
What's you probably don't want to say, but like, are you going to like a broadcasting school or?
No. So what happened was I don't give a shit talking about this. There's the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Yeah, I almost went there.
Which is something I really wanted to go to. But the two problems with it is, number one, it's basically a trade school. So you go in there and you learn for like a couple of months.
It's a connection school mostly, dude. You come out of that school, the biggest thing is they get you jobs when you just got a network. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's really it. And they're like, oh, well, we can't guarantee jobs, but if you can come in and like, rent a studio a couple times, it depends on who's here. It's like, it's just very, if I had the money, fucking I'd
very
go there
car
instead.
salesmanish, but it does work for people. It does, but.
Right. But no, I'm going to a community college first. So I figured save money, see how it goes. I'm going to go for at least the associate's degree first in journalism. And then they have a program where, depending on like my grade point average, they might give me a tuition discount. I might go my bachelor's, but I'm kind of just doing the associates first, and we'll take it from there.
Well, fuck all that. Let's just start our own wrestling company, and
seriously,
we'll just kill it, man. That's all we got.
Connor was going for fashion, but
I don't have the hips.
Yeah. I'd want somebody in charge of the ring. I'd be like, dude, your job is to get the ring crew going, whatever the fuck. Grab somebody else who can run all that. And
I don't want to talk. I just want to do creative.
I just don't want to. Yeah, Jake can just beat up people backstage.
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I hate setting up the rings, and the worst is when you're an owner or whatever, and you get there and like people are missing or something, and you're like, "Guess I'm putting the ring together," and I like fuck that.
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times at other shows I used to work for.
Yeah, that's the worst. I mean, I can put so many different type of rings together, though. It's like, it's kind of funny. Like I was.
There'd be only 3 turnbuckles. I'd be like, I don't know where the fuck the rest is. I'm sorry, Joe. This looks awful.
How
It's a triangle.
How did you put it together with only 3 turnbuckles? That's fucking impressive.
Yeah, and with one guy.
There'd be ropes just running through the middle of the ring. It'd be a triangle.
And here's your perfectly built wood shed. We were putting together a ring. Well, that explains the cables. Fuck, I have to do this over again.
Dude, I was doing commentary one night, and we were at this fair thing, and like nobody showed up from the ring people. Nobody who knew how to put the ring together was really there. The guy left or something. One of the guys left. The other guy didn't show up. The cameraman didn't show up. And the cameraman is another guy who can not only put the ring together, he's a wrestler, puts the ring together. You know, all the new, guys who are training in the school.
Yeah, multifaceted.
Nobody is there. Nobody is there. And the ring is set up ready to go, apparently. And I'm out there. Nobody's here yet. We haven't let anybody in the doors or whatever. Nobody's come through. And I've only done commentary. Two of the wrestlers were standing near the ring, and I was there. And, dude, I shook the ropes, and I went, dude, do you fucking feel these ropes? And he was like, what the fuck? Like, you're going to die on these. So I jumped up on the apron, and then I slingshotted myself into the ring. Like I flipped over the ropes. And the wrestler goes, holy shit! I didn't know you could do that shit. I'm like, yeah, I used to wrestle. But he goes, oh, okay. So then I started fucking fixing the fucking ring. And we're like, I'm working on the ring, tightening up all the ropes, and I was like, dude, if you guys, they were gonna leave the ring like that, like you were gonna, you would have
what?
Yeah, that was how they set it up. Like 10 minutes later, people came in. 20 minutes after that, fucking people were coming down to the ring, and I was like, they were gonna leave the fucking ring like this.
That's where somebody gets Irish whipped into the ropes, and they either snap or they go up and over the fucking ropes and break their neck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You've heard horse. I've seen it on YouTube. You find in the comments, the ropes weren't properly secured and tightened.
We had after the second match, the ropes were loose again. Like they were kind of loose again, and I was like, I could see them, and I'm seeing them shaking. And we had names booked. Tommy Dreamer. I'm like, dude, Tommy Dreamer hit the ropes, and I thought the fucking ropes were coming out because when he hit the ropes, he almost left the ring. When you bend the rope and you like,
you can go past the ring apron.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, someone's gonna fall under the ropes, under the apron from the ropes, and something was wrong with them. I don't know what the fuck it was, but like they were totally fucked.
Using bungee cords. I've been in a wrestling ring only once when we used to do the backyard stuff all the time. So we would just literally mask and tape off a section, and that was our ring. And this friend of a friend had purchased a wrestling ring. I think it was $1,300 at the time. And the way he had put it together, the middle of it felt like a trampoline because the truss that you're supposed to have like under there to support the middle of the ring, I don't know what he did, but he ended up having like a car jack under there instead. So you only had support in the direct center of it and then on the edges. So the middle around it, the way the cushion and the padding on the top, there was like the wood slats that were there, but the rest of it had nothing to support underneath. So your feet would sink as you walked around it. I'm like, yeah, not
Jesus.
a chance.
That's crazy.
There was a show that I was booked at. This had nothing to do with the ring, but the show was at an Elks Lodge, and go figure. And the only room they could do it in had a part of the ceiling that came down in the middle of the ring. So if you jumped high enough, which most wrestlers were from
you're
like
going through the tile.
No, it was like a drop off. So it's like it was just like a block. And so people would like, you could like literally like slingshot somebody into the block of like what essentially is the fucking ceiling.
Yeah, almost like a Titantron hanging down, or like the big scoreboard at a hockey game, but it's a small little piece of wood.
Yeah.
But the thing was, like, the first person in the opening match used it, and it's like, okay, cool, funny spot, you're making the best of the situation. Then everyone in every fucking match used it in every fucking way they could. I'm like, God damn it.
That's one of the problems with indies sometimes is when the guys come out and they do all the same thing, and then the next guys
they haven't watched the
out.
match before, or they just like it.
I'm like, I saw this like 4 times tonight. Yeah, and it's like they don't watch the match. so they don't know what happened. Like you watch the match, and if you see two guys do the same type of spot, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm not doing that.
It just takes away from it, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't think about that a lot of times, but it does take away. You're like, seen this 3 times, and it's sort of a thing, and it's so, and I'm trying to think of a better example, but it's sort of like a thing that like you wouldn't expect to happen. So like now you've seen it 3 times in the same night, so you're like this is like a coincidental thing. It shouldn't be something that happens every time. And so, like remember the other night when Ali climbed to the top and Elias climbed with him, and then Elias shoved him off, and he did this sort of the backflip Spanish fly landing on his leg?
Yeah.
The self-Spanish fly. Like, that spot is weird. Like, you don't a lot of times see that. So if you're on an indie show and in the first match the guys do that, and then, like, the next match the guys do the same thing, like, you're kind of like, what the hell? I saw that earlier. That's so weird. And then if you saw it again, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, does everybody do this? Like, does everybody not know that's coming? Or, like, what's going on? And that's a bad example, but, you know, something like that is the point that it's like a lot of indie wrestlers don't pay attention. They're like, whatever, I'm just hanging out, and I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Oh, yeah, okay, cool. My match is coming up in three matches. But it's like, yeah, dude, you should be watching because, and this is for I guess this is to anybody out there that's going to become a wrestler. It's like, be watching because the fans are feeling something different. I mean, if you don't give a shit, some people just don't give a shit, I guess. They're like, oh, whatever, who cares? Fans like what they do or they don't or whatever. But if you really care, you'll be like, all right, that's already been done. We're going to do something that they haven't seen tonight. And unfortunately, obviously, the later on the card you are, the more important it is. And
right.
If you're the champion, you know, but I've even seen the champions, dude. I've seen the champions come out, and I'm like, dude, man, this was done all night. What are you guys doing? You know, but I've also seen champions who are like, fuck, dude, we got to cut that spot. Like, they've like 2 people fucking done it tonight. Like, I've seen champions argue. Like, I've seen like Teddy Goods and like Ryan Waters and people like that, like sitting there and being like, we're not doing that fucking thing now because they already did that, and well, this happened, and like they brawled into the people. So now how are we gonna brawl? How are we gonna make that different? Because we have to brawl. So that's the toughest in the last match. But
yeah, it's like comedians, you know, they when they go out together, they haven't worked together before. When they tell a joke that's either similar or close to the same punchline, they're like, well, I can't do that anymore. You know, same thing.
Yeah, Walter's entrance is badass. Treated, that match was great, man. Tyler Bate, Walter, Connor, we didn't really hear a lot from you unless people listen to your reviews on your YouTube channel, and I heard some of them. I think you really liked that match, but did you like that better than AEW?
So what I said was that overall I liked NXT TakeOver UK a little bit more. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I know. I'm
thinking because like I get what you're saying. Like because AEW had a lot of low points.
You just want AEW to fail. You've lost all credibility with me now, Connor.
Damn right. That's why I'm going to the Boston show.
NXT never went below a 7, but AEW had below 7 moments. But they also, to me, like. And then they arguably had the better moment because then now it's between Walter's match and the best match you thought AEW had, and that's close too. So I can see why you're saying that.
I hate to say it, I think that Walter and Bate blew anything out of the wall. Like the match itself. Sorry, I think it topped anything AEW did that night.
They
had
Cesaro's match might have been my favorite. Honestly,
yeah, Cesaro's was number 2 for me, but. Yeah, on the UK, yeah. I mean, so like there's 2. See, to me, I felt NXT like was kind of like I said, 7 out of 10 or above with all the matches. But I will go back and watch Cesaro's match. I'll go back and watch Walter's match, and in AEW, I would go back and watch Cody's match.
Yep.
And the Bucks, I think, and Jericho's match. Because of the moments and because of the sort of, like the build of the excitement or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, as far as just playing up, like we're getting in the ring and we're going to have a wrestling match now. Like that's what NXT did a lot of. They got right to the point with everything.
Yeah. But AEW was very long as well. That's a point working against them.
I felt more excited for AEW though. That's the thing is I felt more excited.
A great deal of hype going into it. And
but in the matches that were good, I felt more excited than in NXT UK. I felt like NXT UK meant less.
Because you don't follow the UK product.
That's true. That's true.
which I don't either. I mean, it's hard. God, there's too much wrestling.
Yep.
I mean, I don't either. And so I get that the excitement going into it, the builds for both of them were completely different because, we have AEW launching on TNT. This is their big, their last big pay-per-view before they go onto TNT. They're crowning the world champion. Rumors out the yin yang of who's going to show up. Like, of course, there was tons of excitement going into it, but I think UK, I didn't know what to expect, and holy shit, was I blown away.
Loved it. It's just I feel like no matter how awesome the matches are in NXT UK, it feels like there's a ceiling. It's in this bubble over here that's really awesome, but AEW feels like it's operating in a big world, and that's I don't really know.
Right.
I don't think
AEW
that's
a larger scale. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not because I'm following it there though. I just feel like the world is bigger, so it's got more risk reward going on.
NXT UK feels more like a regional promotion, whereas AEW feels global.
Yeah, and it just feels like it's so much more to it. And these are main stream guys. It's a different feeling. But I don't argue that Walter's match may have been the best match of the two shows. It probably was. Yeah. I need to go back. I actually want to go back and watch all my favorite matches: Cesaro, Walter, and the 3 from AEW that I thought were really good. Or maybe 4 if you want to throw that Cracker Barrel thing in. It was kind of fun. It wasn't anything.
That was funny.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I
anything
enjoyed that. Like
amazing.
I said, but those guys are trying to wrestle like they're going to an early grave. My God.
Yeah,
that wasn't a negative, a slight against them. They just some of the moves. It was like, holy shit! You don't need to sell that because you're in pain.
Yeah, that was the Cracker Barrel car crash.
Ironically, I went to a Cracker Barrel the night after.
Ironically, I'm a cracker. Okay, let me play some more of the donation. Well, I guess that didn't work.
About to get it, man. Here we go. About to get it, man. Here
Fucking
we go.
idiot.
Here we go. Here we go.
Burn it down.
Shut up, Seth. Shut up.
Sad night. My favorite Chinese restaurant in town has made me sick twice in a 2-month
Really?
span. Sad night.
That is really sad, man. When you love food so much from there and then they let you down like that, that sucks. But even worse, my favorite Chinese restaurant ever got shut down out of nowhere because the city the city wanted to build a road through it, so they claimed what did they claim?
Eminent domain.
Eminent domain. And the place is gone.
bullshit.
I went to call the order one night. I was craving it. I'm like, we haven't ordered out in a while. Let's go. And I seen the message. We've closed down an eminent domain. Dude, I want to go choke the mayor. Our mayor was a scumbag too. They turned into shit.
You want to see my dick?
Oh no, there he is!
I'm Sean's View Entertainment.
He's here!
You want to see my dick?
I want to see your dick.
Do you want to see my dick? I will show you my penis.
Gatekeeper Drew is in the chat.
Sean's View. Don't screw with me, or else I'll show you my pee-pee. Do you want to see my dick? Do you want to see my dick?
What up, it's P quadruple P coming in your couch, bitch, yeah. Bitch, yeah. Gonna be hard to get that come out dat couch pouch slouch kangaroo pouch. Woo woo.
What the fuck?
I just love Joe's face.
Pussy, 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 penis. I think I added one extra pussy there.
I think you did.
But thank you, pussy, 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 penis, for the donation. I'm about to kill it. What the fuck?
There he is.
Oh!
Oh my God, I broke my face! Oh God, I broke my face! Oh, I think I'm... Oh, what the fuck is... Oh, what the fuck is... Oh my God, my face!
You're damn right, Joe. This Friday on Monetize This, I'm issuing an open challenge to all of JCS. The belt is on the line against Tall, and I guarantee victory. I guarantee it so much that if I lose... Oh shit, I ran out of room. Stay tuned. Champ out.
Belt Keeper Drew. That might be him. That really might be him. I didn't think it was, but that might be him. He's putting the belt on the line.
Super chat.
And he's put his career on the
Blah
line.
blah. AEW sucks. Mayin Djinn reigns supreme.
The Mayin Din. Abbadon. Thank you, my friend, for the $2 and the $6 from Drew. and everybody else who's been donating tonight, big time. But DC Derek, high atop the mountain with the largest donation of the stream. It is DC Derek, and this is 1016W. No, I'm just kidding. We got fucking...
There were several people, too, that said AEW sucked because Punk didn't show up.
Oh, people were mad?
Really? Like, and that was always going to be a point of contention that worked against them, honestly, and I do feel bad, but Jericho wins, and everyone's looking to the ramp like, now? They're going off the air, now? You know, like, it was sad, but there was no way to avoid it. Even if he wasn't at StarCast, even if he was, they're just being in Chicago, they're just, now? You know, so...
By the way, I watched that CM Punk interview, and it wasn't really anything special.
Didn't really say or do much. He was shocked that, he, to find out that people get time off now. That was kind of funny. He told a couple of stories, but nothing that was like...
No, nothing.
I was really expecting more, honestly, with someone that, the voice of the voiceless. I wasn't expecting him to be like scathing, but I was waiting to be entertained more, and it was just very blasé, softball questions, and the only real highlight, I think, from it was him saying, like, oh, why didn't you answer when The Rock called? Like, that was the big one that got picked up all over the place. And he was like, oh, I was in an elevator. Oh, that was pretty anticlimactic,
I was in an elevator.
No, there really wasn't anything major to take away from his, like, I just felt like, this is just like clickbait almost. Like, yeah, okay, it's CM Punk, but like...
Super chat.
Nothing profound.
It's not Punk, Jake. AEW just sucks, lol.
Oh no, Jesus! Now he just doesn't like the company. Hey Connor, you got to get me that cartoon of yourself, and then Jake, we got to get you cartooned. That way, I can have all three of us on a picture together or something. Seriously, because I mean, like, hey,
hell yeah.
I think because then I can put all three of us on a thing like as cartoons. I still have JD cartoon. That thing cost me a lot of money back in the day, and then he told me to go fuck myself. 937, hello. Yeah.
It's Aaron's 2 cents. How y'all doing?
Oh, shit.
Aaron, welcome to my mother's house.
Yeah.
You keep it pretty toasty over there in Boston, huh?
Oh, yeah, baby. We don't fuck around. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Fuck this heat.
Yeah, it's hot.
You're in the devil voice. Welcome to my mother's house. Hell's hot. I mean...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Never mind. Have y'all heard about Candice LeRae?
Candice LeRae. What happened?
She's supposedly really hurting.
She's hurt too?
Yeah, I've been watching. I get my info too, and Pro Wrestling Unlimited or whatever, that channel was reporting it today. And I was wondering if y'all heard about that. Plus, I wanted to know, with the brand split coming up, is it going to be pretty much the 4 horsewomen on SmackDown, and then pretty much everyone else that doesn't matter goes to Raw?
I don't think they'd put all of them on SmackDown.
That would be stupid.
Yeah, they got.
I think what they'll do is they'll make it a Survivor Series match when if they're going to bring back the whole theme of Raw versus SmackDown again, like they did last couple years. I think that's what they'll do.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
You know, those guys at that channel used to be listeners of my show. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they used to. And then
they're hit or miss. I only get to them when you are not on YouTube at the moment, so they're a last resort.
Yeah, I know that guy because it's weird. It's just weird. I used to watch the show all the time, and then he launched his channel and fucking did pretty good, man. They did pretty good. I think they're little kids, but no, I'm just kidding.
They come on sometimes right around the same time as you. I've noticed that.
Oh yeah,
they're on when you're on.
Oh, they totally robbed me. They know what they're doing. Trust me. They ripped off everything. I mean, just like who doesn't rip me off? But whatever, it is what it is. They're cool. Gatekeeper Drew's on the phone. Hello.
What's going on, guys? I hope you can hear me okay. I'm out in the fucking sticks.
Yeah, you sure are. You're gonna be out. You're gonna die out there too. No, I'm just kidding. No, what's going on, Drew?
I might. Hey, I don't know. What's up?
How does it feel to be the champion without a belt?
Hey, I'm making do. I myself a little PNG of the belt, so I'm like holding it up where I can, but hey, do what you can, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have a penis. I mean, that's all you need, even though you don't have the belt. As long as you have your dick, everything's okay.
I'll just walk around with that. I'll just walk around and hold that. Will that work?
Yeah, I mean, just say I'm the champ.
I don't know what the cops would say about that, but hey, go ahead and talk to them.
Yeah, just say like I'm the champ.
It's not illegal until you get caught. You remember Jesse Ventura? It's not illegal until you get caught.
Hey, can you hear this?
This call sucks.
Is this a sign?
No, your call's fine. I just want to see if you could hear that. You could hear that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because apparently somebody sent me a clip of Ryback going flipping out or something. I don't know. So I'm gonna.
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't know if this is what he's talking about or like if this is what we're supposed to be watching, but he says what a hypocrite or something like that, and so I'm trying to hear what he's talking about.
Like a bite. Oh, I
So
wonder
let's
how
see
good
if
this is.
what
and then go to that. No,
what he's talking
We're
about.
not going to all agree and like things. It's a mindset thing. A lot of you, if I ever mute you or block you, it's because I think you have a fucked up mindset. Not because you don't like me. It's the fact that you took the time to comment that you don't like me and spread the hate. I don't have any respect for people like that. I see things I don't like all the time on social media. Do I stop and actually post that? No, because that's being a dickhead. That's being a piece of shit. Of just a low-life scum.
What the hell is he talking about? Hasn't he posted a ton of shit like that?
Did he not say, like, 3 days after meeting you that he hopes you fucking die?
Yes. But he also said this, but he's also tweeted about lots of other people and stuff like that, hasn't he? Haven't we pulled his tweets and been like, this is hilarious, where he's like she's a lazy cow or something like that? Like, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he's said some pretty hateful stuff in the past. Yeah.
There's more stuff of his than there is of Lars Sullivan.
Yeah. What the hell is he talking about?
Scumbag. You don't do that shit. You're choosing to be upset and spread hate. If you want to spread hate, and I don't condone that shit, guys. Be nice. Follow things that make you happy. You're choosing.
I mean, I agree with him. I don't, we shouldn't really spread real hate. Jokes are one thing,
Choosing to be mad and then spread that madness.
I don't know, man. Maybe we should pull up some of his tweets tonight and see.
I'm on it.
Yeah, pull up his Twitter because, oh my God, it's got to be like, there's got to be these fucking just. Ryback gets heat over Twitter remarks about Cena. He wrote, what the fuck does he write here? Twitter trouble. He posted a bunch of anti-Cena stuff. Blah blah blah. Well, that doesn't count. That was there in a match. That was him.
Yeah. Let me see.
But I swear he's tweeted a whole bunch of crazy shit.
No, he has.
Because we've all laughed at it. Like, this is fucking hilarious. He said
I
something.
feel like nowadays the definition of hate is really skewed.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks everything is hate, kind of.
Well, until he says it, then it's okay.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm not going to blame him for Cena comments. They were working or something.
The Cena comment.
That's the top thing that comes up if you search it.
Yeah.
But he had other comments, man. It was crazy. He said stuff about women wrestlers or something, all kinds of shit. But it's just that guy always says stuff. What was he talking about? But I think I know what he means though. Trolls coming at him kill yourself, you retard idiot. I mean, I get what he's saying. I agree with him, but I mean, just kind of funny. But anyway, someone sent that to me and said that I have to watch it, and that was all he said. I mean, I don't really see anything wrong with it.
He just said 4 weeks ago he vows to beat the shit out of a WWE producer.
Yeah, he wanted to beat. Yeah, he wanted to beat up Pat Buck.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love it. That'd be funny. Mo Lester dropped $2. Anything under $3 doesn't play on Streamlabs. Joe, you want to see my PP? What are you doing later? Bring Tommy, MC, and Debe.
All right.
He spelled it Tommy MC though, with an M, like Mickey Mouse.
McDonald's, which makes more sense.
Yeah, Mick. Yeah, he's a Mick. 609's on the phone. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, is this Rojas?
It's me. It's me.
It's me, Nick.
It's not Nick. No. It's Mayin Djinn. No, I just wanted to say, bro.
Oh,
listen.
wow.
Listen, yeah. All right, so listen. Dude, it's not the fact that CM Punk did. Look, okay. So you watched the whole show. I know you watched the whole show of All Out. I know you watched it.
Are you talking about me or Jake? You're talking to Jake, right?
No. You.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And then I already made it clear. It's not about CM. I don't give a fuck about CM Punk. Here's the thing. All of the shit that happened during that entire show, all of the false finishes, all of this, that, whatever. And then Chris Jericho wins the world title with a fucking spinning back elbow.
Yep.
Well, that would be the Judas effect.
No. It's a spinning back. I don't give a fuck what he calls it. It's a fucking spinning back elbow. You're gonna tell me that AEW? Look and listen. I would love nothing more than for AEW to be awesome. And I'm gonna watch it on TNT when it starts. I'm not just fucking hating to hate. I'm saying right now, shit sucks. Sorry, it sucks.
I just think people are like overly praising it, and if you have any criticisms, you're immediately viewed as a hater, and that's the troubling part. Like, we tear WWE apart, and you're called a mark if you like anything, and then AEW, if you don't love all of it, you're a faggot that sucks his mother's dick. You
what
win.
the fuck? Like, I mean, sign me up for that.
Why, your mom doesn't have a dick?
Sign me up for that.
That's a weird. Yeah, it's weird.
That was a weird thing. That was bizarre.
It wasn't that great.
That was creepy.
It wasn't terrible though.
It was a good show. It felt longer than the actual runtime to me, and I wasn't.
No, I'm at the commentary. No, the commentary wasn't terrible. The show itself. Wasn't. I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's not terrible.
The commentary was a huge improvement, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, big time. Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't say huge, but it was improved.
Yeah, but still,
JR sounded like he was lost at times.
I didn't think it was approved. I think JR sounded like he was falling asleep most of the time, and like sometimes I thought he was making fun of everything. And
then
he
sounded very disinterested
and
and
to
annoying.
be there. It felt like literally anything else would have been better than where he was. Is how he was sounding that night. Because I was sitting there like, whoa, this is the worst I've ever heard him sound.
And also, Excalibur has toned down, I believe.
Yeah.
The fucking
Slammer! I noticed there was a couple of times where there was like a power bomb screaming. I just couldn't help but start.
He went
laughing.
like power bomb, but he didn't really go nuts.
like he's questioning if that's the right time to yell power bomb.
He was like, he heard Joe Cronin's criticisms, and he was like, all right, I'm not gonna. Fine, fuck you, I won't do that. Then are you gonna like me? Pile driver.
He just didn't do it as often.
Yeah. All right,
Dude,
listen. I gotta go.
Okay.
I only called because I can't keep donating because all my money's in an M1 account, so I can't.
I got you.
Anymore.
Yeah, well, hey.
But after tonight, I'll be on your corrupted podcast. I like that shit.
Hell
anyway, yeah. All right. So all I'm saying is AEW sucks for now. Hopefully it gets better. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck this.
Okay.
This call sucks, dude. This call sucks. I'm hanging up.
I thought it was all right. Yeah.
All right, good. All right, whatever.
It was almost as cringy as JD saying his dream was to be a commentator, and he models himself after Mauro Ranallo to Chris Van Fish Fillet.
Really? Himself as Mauro Ranallo. That's disrespectful to Mauro. He needs to go find him, tweet him, or say sorry, whatever the hell you need to do. That's disrespectful.
First of all, JD didn't even know who Mauro was like 4 years ago almost. And second,
you had to explain it to him and show him a clip of him calling an MMA match on Out of Nowhere, I believe.
Yes. If everybody would just go back and watch that, JD, in his interview with Chris Van Fish Fillet, he fucking says like, "Oh, Mauro is who I'm inspired by, and I've wanted to do this my whole life." Well,
Swing and a miss, sir. That's what he's at then. Swing in a big fucking miss.
Number one, his first time doing commentary was with me when I brought him up on stage for the first time, and then he goes, "Wow, I actually never thought I would do this, but I really like it. I think I want to do it now." And the second thing is he didn't know who Mauro Ranallo was on Out of Nowhere, like you just said, probably episode 2, 3, 4, 5, something. We have him on videos being like, "Who? I never heard of him before."
At least in the first 20 of them.
Dude, and I remember when we used to talk to him about guys like Kenny Omega, he didn't know who they were.
I don't really keep up with them. I review it if they ask for it enough, but I don't really keep up with New Japan. That's what his exact words.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Dude, but you've never seen Kenny Omega," and he'd be like, "I've heard of it, but I don't." It's just so funny how he's totally become like, "I'm all about this. I knew everything about this." Like, what the fuck? Oh,
I knew
man.
everything about this as of 5 minutes ago. Nigga, you ain't know about this like a fucking year ago. When did you know about this? I'm trying to find that out right now.
Go find my Wrestle Kingdom reviews and go look for his. He doesn't have them. But that being said, we're giving him some shit. But that being said,
I watched him for Call of Duty content.
I am proud of him.
When he started his first wrestling review.
Right.
And it was a weekend video. It wasn't Raw or SmackDown or anything like that. and it was a new venture for him.
Right.
Before Off the Script was ever even a thing. He didn't even have a name for it.
Yeah.
He was fucking arguing about Call of Duty communities and talking to people like Sneeko and, you know, 8 Thoughts and shit like that.
Yeah, he was all about
He
the
had
fucking Call of Duty
nothing to
content.
do with wrestling.
It had nothing to do with wrestling, yeah. He's just looking for a vehicle to do something.
I was so excited because I was the one commenting, "Oh, you should join Joe Cronin. You guys should be, you know, working together." That shit.
Yeah, I have this passion. Like, it's
What a
like, what the
mistake.
fuck are you talking about? Anyway, congratulations to him. People wanted me to react to this all night, and I was not really going there. But you know, I don't want to shade him. I do, you know, congratulations or whatever. It just was hard to listen to me, knowing the real story. You know, to me. You know, but it is what it is. Either way, I do congratulate him, and I hope he's okay. And I don't want to bash him, really. I know we've talked about him here, but people wanted me to comment on it, so those are my real feelings on it, and I gave you my real feelings on it, and you wanted to hear it, so blame yourselves for asking.
You are a better man than me, because I wouldn't give him congrats for shit.
Adam in the chat said, "I have a theory. JR got pissed when Janela pulled out the tennis racket. Go back and watch. That's the moment he checked out."
Really?
You might be onto something because that triple threat match.
Well, by the way,
about
Joey
time to-
Janela, Mr. Backdown Janela, by the way, Joey Janela, you're in the shape of a fucking fan. You idiot. Joey Janela, you look like a slob idiot. Like, Joey Janela looks like a fucking slob idiot who isn't even a wrestler. And here's the other thing, Joey Janela, you fuck. These guys are like, oh, we don't consider anything, you know, Jim Cornette says or anything like blah, blah, blah. Then they pull out a tennis racket. These people don't know what the fuck they want to do.
No.
Like, they're constantly like, we're above all that. We're above this and that. They remind me of somebody I know that I won't mention his name because I'm going to be the passive-aggressive one. But my God, I'll tell you what. On YouTube, I say one thing about somebody, and this motherfucker will lose his mind about how I can't stop talking. Other people will take shot after shot after shot, like under their breath, at me. And if I respond, then I'm made fun of for responding. And if I don't respond, I'm made fun of anyway. That is enraging. And that is what AEW is doing. Like, we don't want anything to do with this. Jim Cornette's an irrelevant old dinosaur idiot. Oh, but we care so much, we're going to keep referencing him all the time. Like,
Giving him more publicity.
I mean, they're just fucking weird. I mean, that's what it is weird. I don't mind it. But
that was my problem with the Cody entrance with the chair. You know, it would be fine if he just did it, but didn't say all the shit before and after and even during.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, again, I don't have a problem with this stuff. Again, I like everything they're doing, and I think the tennis racket thing is funny. And maybe they're just trolling him back because it's funny. I don't know, but it is weird how they go so hard on, like, oh, you know.
They go so out of their way. That's the thing. They really, really go out of their way to be inclusive. Like the comment, you know, about we were talking about yesterday with Khan being asked about, oh, are you going to have a more diverse roster?
Yeah, that was,
you know, that you brought up.
Weird.
And that's enraging.
I mean, it's
they
not.
Just had
it's not
someone who's transgender.
No. Wait a minute, Jake. Though that's not what he said. That's not enraging. Saying like, "Oh, hey, Tony, you know, I've noticed a lot of your superstars and who you've been hiring. Do you plan on having an even more diverse roster in the future, or what do you plan with that?" That's
his response.
That's more acceptable. The question though was more like, you know, we haven't really seen a lot of you know, diversity on the main championship belt. And, you know, a lot of, you know, white superstars and things like that. So he was really going into all that, and it was really weird. Instead of just an open comment like, hey, we've seen a lot of diversity so far, but do you plan on having more diversity, especially in, like, the world title? And is that thought about? And even that's kind of a dickish thing, but that's asked way better than how that guy asked it of Tony Khan.
Yeah, it wasn't a great question, but still, don't have a response that says, oh, I've got tons of plans. Just you wait and see.
Yeah. If I'm Tony Khan, I would have looked at him and I would have said, do I look like a white guy to you? Do I look like I have some kind of thing? Like, whoever fucking we want to put in, like, we want to do with whatever we want to do with, we're going to do. Like,
they passed the buck so hard with the chair shot, too.
Yeah, whoever's over is over. We're not going to hold people down. Like, and then he could have used it to say the right thing, too. He could have said, we're certainly not going to be... What we're not going to do is push people because of their color or because we want diversity. But what we will do is when we have somebody who is in the right position or doing the right things or somebody we like, we're not going to hold them back because of their color. So that's one thing I'll say is, unlike other places, we will not hold people back because of their color and because of their race or whatever. But we won't also push people just because of that either. We'll do what's right for us, the company, and our fans. That's the
And
answer.
you're never going to get a token champion. I don't think AEW is ever going to have a token champion. I mean,
Right.
But yeah, that question could have been asked differently. I like the way you asked it, but like it was like, yeah, I just don't like the fact that if they're going to talk shit about WWE, then talk shit, but don't say we're not going to, and then 10 minutes later we're going to do it, because being the elite, that's all you've done for like the past 2 or 3 years. So why wouldn't we think you're going to do nothing but talk shit? That's what you've done.
Right.
So you're either going to do this or you're not going to do this. You care enough to talk shit about them. They can stop with the "we don't care." Yes, you care. We know you care because you all would have been there if you didn't care. All of you could have been there. You didn't. You started your own thing. You're on your own thing. Don't worry about what they do and do what you do. Because that's what's just going to make people not want to watch. If you just keep shitting on them, then we'll just, all right, well, fine, and fuck it. I'll just go watch WWE and be done with it.
I don't mind if they like go at him, like if they say they're going at him. If they're like, "Fuck yeah, baby, it's on, let's go," like that's different to me. Like it's just a weird, like we're not gonna go there, then go there. Like that's the thing that nobody likes. Like
don't stop and start.
The back talk drives me nuts. Like they couldn't wait to pass the buck and they didn't have to go into anything with the chair shot. Just stand your ground. You decided to do it. Okay, the only reason he got busted open like he did was because the gimmick chair got hit in the wrong spot, so you wrapped it around his head. Shit happens. But instead of saying, shit happens, they had to, like, oh my God, it was a gimmick chair. And, they floundered all over the place with that response. And there's no reason to reply to any of that the way they did, honestly.
That being said, I do like them. It sounds like we're bashing it. I love AEW right now, but
I like the company too, and they've got tons of talent that I'm really invested in. So
yeah, I love
them too. I just want them to just do what they do. Don't worry about what WWE doing. We're watching you because of WWE. You got us already. Just wrestle. Just do the shit in the ring and leave the other shit alone. We'll take care of the other shit. Just make good content. That's all we asking you to do. Don't do nothing else. Just do the good shit right now. That's all we want.
Who got the Cracker Barrel match right? Because didn't we all pick someone different? And I'm bringing it up.
I picked up. I said Havoc.
Okay, I said Havoc too. So Jake got fucked.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jake. I don't remember. I think Jake said Darby.
I said Darby.
I just wanted to let y'all know. But thank you for having me. And
thanks, man.
I just wanted to say Oscar deserves better. And thanks for having me.
I agree, man. Poor Oscar. But yeah, thank you for the call.
And Melvin,
Aaron's
the point is, WWE takes shot at them too. It's not a pussy topic. It's the fact that WWE isn't saying we're never going to talk about them, and then they go and make fun of them.
WWE is being more like cunning about it. They're more like they're not. They have said so. They said on Raw than the goddamn AEW.
Yeah, that was the only time it was direct, and that came from Sami Zayn. But the rest of it from themselves. I view commentary as a direct correlation to Vince McMahon, because whatever commentary says is coming from Vince anyways. So unless you get a quote from backstage or it comes from commentary, then it's on the wrestlers. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically if commentary says it, it's okayed by the man himself. And they've done things like indirect.
Did you see the Corey Graves thing?
It's been funny. Yeah.
Did you see that Corey Graves news? Did we bring
which
that
one?
up? No, he said he wasn't mentioning the Jericho title going missing.
He said I wasn't taking a shot. I was making a joke with a friend. He goes, "If you want to see me take a shot, just wait," or something like that.
Yeah. He said that it was supposed to be funny. He wasn't being nasty.
Yeah, well, I mean, no one thought it was a shot. That's
well, people ran with.
No, I know the stories.
Some people.
Yeah, I know the websites say that, but when I read that as he was trying to, Corey Graves is trying to say that had nothing to do with Jericho. That's crazy. But now I see what you're saying. He's saying it wasn't a shot at him.
Yeah, he was saying it wasn't nasty towards Jericho. It was just supposed to be funny.
It's a wink. Yeah, it's like a funny wink. It's a little weird that they're doing that.
It's a fourth wall breaking comment. That's all. It's those things where.
Well, I don't know why.
Easter eggs.
I don't know why WWE does that. To be honest, I guess I don't get any. I see almost zero benefit of them talking about AEW, so I don't understand what they're doing. I get, because I've done this stuff before. We've all on YouTube. We a lot of people have done this stuff before. I've done it. Other co-hosts that I've had have done it about me, where, you know, they're taking a shot, but only a few people really pick up on it. And those people start commenting on who it is you're taking a shot at because they get it. And every time it's always kind of like useless to do that. But what it is it's like a I don't know what it is, like a narcissistic thing, or like I got the term, I can't think of the word for it. It's like you can
only bite your lips for so long.
Yeah, you can't. I just don't know why we do it, but yeah, it happens to me and other people. And but WWE's doing it with AEW, so that means something about them bothers them. That's usually what it means. It usually means that you are bothered, or you're hearing what the other person's doing, and now you're like, well, I'm taking my shot back now. And so, like, you care enough to do that. But some people don't do that, you know, or some people do it sneakily. You know, like, there's some people who, like, you can be a prick and you can say things about them and it won't bother them. They will not mention you in a video vaguely or anything. And that person is, like, legit. Like, I don't give a fuck what you say about me. I'm doing my own thing. That is pretty respectable, but a lot of people can't help it. Like Donald Trump can't help it. He would come right at you on Twitter with, you look like a pig face or something like that. Where and I probably would too. But like then at some point I would start being vague because I want to start promoting you and really bringing it up every time. But WWE's doing that. So it's very strange. It's an interesting I'm not complaining about any of this. I'm fucking enjoying all of this. This has made wrestling a whole lot more entertaining for me, even if it's petty or people want to say like, oh, how dare they take shots and this shots. Fuck it, keep going. Like, I mean, whether you're petty or liars or pandering or what's the other word, passive aggressive, whatever you are, oh well, for me, I'm entertained. So keep I don't care what they do, keep going as far as I'm concerned.
Well, like Jake said, it's Easter eggs for people that are kind of in the know.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's like when I say, God bless. But
T-shirts in the mail.
Jesus.
And I'll send you some stuff. Mo, thank you for the donation, man. The donations are still on. If anybody wants to chime in, ask a question or whatever, we're going to go to the Patreon questions right now. I asked questions on Patreon of our patrons earlier, and anybody on Patreon can answer this. So become a patron. I uploaded Morning Madness earlier today. It was over an hour long. Or no, it was an hour long or less. Or just... I'm lying about everything. It was 50 minutes. But it's up on Patreon, and I think it's pretty decent this morning, so go listen to that episode. But out of nowhere questions. Mike 2066 or 2000 and whatever the fuck. Mike, thank you. Who got the best mic skills as champion, Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins? And then he screams AEW. I think Seth Rollins has the better mic skills if he's heel. And Roman Reigns has the better mic skills as a face. Which is weird to say that. I don't even know if I agree with that.
I would just say Seth all around.
I'd go with Seth. Yeah, I'm going Seth as a heel.
Face has had really good promos, like the time that he opened up the NXT show where he invaded there. You know,
right.
That one stands out. He's had great promos as a heel too.
Yeah,
it's just we're bashing on him now, but you can tell the gimmick. He just seems tired. So
yeah, he's like, I got to go out and say this. All right.
I mean, think about it. It's such an odd pairing too, with him being with Braun, and then they're going to face against each other. And
yeah, here we go again with that story.
Yeah, they've been there, done that so many times now, whether it was with the Shield or individually, and Braun turning heel and face is just like Big Show, you know, the constant back and forth, flip flopping bullshit. And
Connor, if you have to go too, you can get out of here, man. I just realized it's 2 a.m.
You look, and it's nonsensical to think that Seth beat Brock, but Braun couldn't.
Right.
Especially when you look at the size difference between the two. So I mean, it's just the whole situation just sucks now.
Yeah, I mean, like I know it's late. That's. If you want to go, I'm just gonna kind of talk about a few more things and then maybe play a few video games. But yeah, it's like 2 a.m. So if you got to get out of here,
yeah, fuck it, I'll write it out.
All right, Connor gonna ride it out, baby. Ride that bitch out. Check out Connor on YouTube at OKFabe on YouTube. It's youtube.com/OKFaber. and at OKFabe on Twitter. Give him some love there and check out his Patreon. OKFabe has a lot of bonus Patreon content as well. And you can support him on all those locations, plus the Fight app for now on Sundays.
For now.
At 8 p.m.
Yeah, say for now. Yeah.
Why do you say for now? Is that because you don't know if you can keep up with it, or you don't know if they're going to keep you, or
all the above?
Okay, it's a lot of work, all that shit.
Well, truth be told, and you know, I have nothing against Fight. It's just that it's. I think I mentioned this before. It's kind of like when you were doing the Bischoff thing.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. You're not making money. It's
right.
You're bringing.
So,
if anything, you bring them listeners, not they bring you anything.
Correct, and their ad revenue is much worse than YouTube's.
Oh yeah,
and that's hard to believe, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm really getting a whole heck of a lot of perks out of it. So instead, I've switched it up, and I'm actually doing now like weekday shows, 7 a.m. every weekday to make up for it.
Well, one of the perks is really just being able to say like I'm on Fight, you know, and then maybe
that's pretty much.
I mean, honestly, dude, like you do it, like if it's not hard to upload to their site, and you're doing that show anyway. I mean, I'd keep doing it and take it. That I always saw it as, you know, if there's a Fight thing where they invite you to something and those type of things, that's why I wanted to get in. I knew I wasn't going to make any money. I knew it was going to be like uploading to iTunes, like just, okay, it's on iTunes, but who cares?
Right.
Like,
well, I asked him, I said, is there, I mean, you guys are hosting, what was it, Bound for Glory last year? It was in New York, I think, or like Manhattan or whatever. I'm like, hey, can you guys like help me out here? And, you know, I'd love to do some interviews there and, you know, do all, and no, nothing. Upkiss.
That's weird.
Like no response. Like not just like, you know, no, but no response either.
Yeah, I never understand that. Them in Ring of Honor I don't get either, because Ring of Honor, if I covered them hardcore and I did reviews and I was allowed access to everybody, although I can go out and get interviews with them. You know, I mean, I've talked to Matt Taven a bunch, but, you know, if I was allowed to work with them a little bit more closely, like I could probably help with some stuff, and but they don't care. They don't care at all about anything, and it's very strange. Like you should want every single person you can get at this point, with the way things are going, for them. And I'm sure Matt Taven feels a lot like Seth Rollins feels, because he's the champion. He feels like, well, you know, we're in a down period here. I think I saw a promo with him saying that the other day. Where Ring of Honor's in a transition, obviously, right now, but, you know, it's always been the number one play, blah, blah. And it's like, wow. Like, so he's aware, you know, Seth's having the same sort of issue. They need to go to that sports athlete, what do you call it? I'm Joe Biden right now. I can't think of anything.
It's 2 a.m., so.
You know,
my boss.
Counseling, my boss, yeah. What the fuck is wrong with Joe Biden? Well, you know, they did the same thing to President, my boss. Dude, Biden is out of his mind. Anyway, what else we got? Big Mike's Wrestling Show. Big Mike's Wrestling Recap Show. Thank you, Big Mike. Good YouTube channel. Talks about wrestling. I have 3 questions. What does AEW have to do to keep the fan base trust during the weekly shows? I mean, I think they have to have fun characters and compelling storylines. It's very simple, but complicated.
Yeah, find out what's over and focus on it.
Must-see TV.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that's been missing out of all of them is you got to give me a reason to want to tune in. That was my biggest gripe when they said SmackDown's going live. And it's like, okay, well, if they make it must-see, then hell yeah.
Yeah, but if it could have just been taped anyway, then
right,
whatever. Will ratings matter during the Wednesday Night Wars? I think they will. They don't matter as much as we think anymore, but they will to us, because it's let's be honest, it's the way we're gonna gauge it. What other way are we gonna gauge it?
Yeah.
Who's winning?
Yeah,
the ratings are gonna matter more than ratings have mattered in like fucking 15 years, probably.
That's gonna be the huge thing.
It's going to be like the College World Series. It's like, it kind of matters, but
Yeah, but I think it will matter because I think every week we're going to be like, AEW scored a fucking 1.3, NXT, holy shit, they got a 1.2, AEW won, you know.
It's going to matter for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
Because not only... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if NXT wins, though, what does that say? The B team is beating what's supposed to be the best they've got.
Well, that's what I always said. I was like, dude, Vince is going to just send his NXT here, beat them first, you know?
Yeah.
Which is honestly the way I would prefer it anyway. Truth be told. But it matters for not only just them going head to head. NXT is going up to USA Network, so they have to see if they can really, hold a good ratings on Wednesday nights and see if they can change their format. AEW is bringing back wrestling to an audience that hasn't had wrestling in almost 20 fucking years. So it's not just the ratings in terms of them competing against each other. It's just ratings in terms of can they stand on their own two legs, because they're making some pretty fucking radical big changes for both of them.
He's got a third one. What story is underrated either from the past or present? Story. Underrated, past or present. Underrated? Huh. I don't know. Underrated. I don't know if it's underrated. That's the thing. I'm thinking of stuff that's like pretty well rated. Like
China's Intercontinental title run.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that there was a rumor that she was being penciled in to be the champion, like not the IC champion, but the WWF.
Wow.
She was number one contender for a brief time. That might have been that time.
Yeah. Underrated's tough.
Yeah, I'd have to. That's a tough one to think about.
It's hard to think like right off the bat
because a lot of those are so underrated they're forgotten about, but then they're good. I mean, I like.
Well, there was one I can think of. It was part of a story though, and it was Shawn Michaels and Triple H. But I mean, that's not really underrated. But they did a match. They did a Last Man Standing match at the Rumble. This was right before WrestleMania 20, and they did like the Last Man Standing, and neither one of them could get to the count of 10, so it was a draw. I mean, that's the only one I can really think of that's underrated. But even that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's hard for me to think of that. I'll have to think more about that. Eagles Girl 84. Does that mean you're born in 84? We're kindred spirits? Eagles Girl, thank you. Except for the Eagles beat the Patriots. But then we beat you guys. Travis TLC, do you think Nyla Rose wasn't trans, that she would be getting this push in AEW? My answer is no, I guess. Or maybe not. Well, because there's some homely big girls who are in AEW, who have been in AEW. And they got a pretty good push. Two of them.
It's not the look. She's not great in the ring. She's very slow and plodding, and
that's the problem.
She sucks right now. And you say that, and you're homophobic and transphobic, and that's not the case at all. That couldn't be further from the truth. But she's just not interesting, unfortunately, and it's just that all-inclusive aspect they're going for that Brandy keeps touting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to say I don't think so.
That's all I see them going for at this point in time.
Travis TLC, thanks, man. Arknolia Strokelbean says, who was the most cringeworthy on the microphone, Ultimate Warrior or Sid Vicious? Time for another producer's couch with Arknolia Strokelbean. Yeah, that's right. We got to record our next one coming up here. I'll hit you up, or hit me up, and then I'll hit you up. We'll hit each other up. It was a pretty good episode last time, over 900 views. I like both of them because they were whacked out.
Yeah, I say Sid because at least he didn't say I have half the brain that you do.
Yeah.
Well, no, he did say that.
No, the question was who's more cringeworthy. I was saying Vicious because Ultimate Warrior was so over the top and you couldn't even follow what the fuck he was saying, but you bought into it still.
He could get away with saying ridiculous shit, but he made it sound really like, whoa.
Yeah.
That whole promo, like flying a rock.
Sounds like Scott.
Flying Hulkamania up in a rocket to the moon or whatever
to the moon.
That one was. I mean, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but as a 6-year-old, I fucking bought in. So, but with Vicious, it was just like, okay, dude's pissed and saying weird shit. All right, good for you.
Yeah,
no, I agree. I think Sid was definitely cringy.
Yeah. I have half the brain that you do. I just fucked up my microphone. I have half the brains that you do. I am the master and the ruler of the world. It's fucking great. Fuck him. When he
Justice will be served.
Yeah, he was definitely, I would say, yeah, Sid was more cringy. Because, like, it was just cringy. But I like him, but I still thought he was funny. I mean, but I didn't love his promos. But, I mean, he was scary when I was a kid. I was like, damn, this guy's creepy. Jag DePanzer, why do you think Vince keeps himself in his own bubble? Is he too afraid to grow and his experience new things? Yeah, I think that getting older, he's just kind of increasing that grip around what he believes.
I think it's partly that unwillingness to change and the fact that he's just surrounded by yes men as well, so he doesn't feel like he needs to take others' opinions into... he's never told, no, that's not a good idea. How about this? Typically you hear everybody just agree to disagree or agree constantly.
Well,
that's part of it. And
the other problem, Jake, is right now, all the people that have left the WWE recently, including like Road Dogg and other people like that have gone to NXT or moved positions, the more new faces come up with Vince, the more yes men. Because those other people are jaded. And they're like, the nostalgia of Vince is worn off for them. So they're not afraid to kind of yell back at Vince or say something a little bit more than the other people would be. But now he's got all these fresh faces who are just like, I don't want to get fired. I work at WWE. Oh my God, I don't want to get fired.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to lose their job.
Right. And those guys are all just getting there. Shout out to DC Derek, who's the top donator. So now it's going to even be more yes men type stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I know you're. I know you might even laugh at this a little bit, but I think it has a level to do with being old and senile. I mean, you look at people like Jerry Jones or Steinbrenner, and as they've gotten older, well, Steinbrenner's gone, and I don't want to make this a whole new conversation.
He's seeing worms
when they get older.
Yeah.
When these owners get older, though, they get fucking wacko and make stupid shit decisions.
Like Alex Rodriguez's contract. Rusty Shackelford says, do you think AEW is a shot against NXT on Wednesday nights? As long as Triple H has control of the show, it's been good. Yeah, you know what, Rusty? I really do think they do. And I think the thing is, I think NXT fans are going to love NXT no matter what. And when things don't go as well in NXT, I think people will kind of complain a bit. I feel like the AEW fans right now are so in love at this point that the AEW is going to get away with some bad and cringe stuff that might happen, and
they'll just defend it.
Yeah, they're going to get away with it at first because people are just so in love right now with AEW. But NXT does have a solid fan base, so it's going to be interesting, and it's a lot of the same people. I'm excited right now talking about this. Like, I'm ready to see.
I'm excited just for more wrestling and different styles of different people. It's not just going to be Seth Rollins and Braun and Roman Reigns.
We're gonna be watching like it's the Monday Night Wars again, Jake. We're gonna be flipping back and forth and shit.
Or
or maybe two monitors at the same time, legit.
I mean, the only thing about that is, it might not be as fun, because on the Wars it was like these crazy things were happening. But if this is just, they go out, they wrestle, and then that's it. Like, for the most part, you're gonna be like, well, I kind of missed that other match because I was watching two things at once. Is it going to be that way?
I remember.
Is it going to be worthwhile or?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know how we're going to watch it. I'm going to watch on two different TVs, and then I'm going to go live talking about both.
Well, like you said, it's going to be maybe one covers one watches the other. We'll have to figure out.
Maybe I'll
call it an AEW versus NXT kind of thing or something.
Yeah, and then maybe we can have the people vote on who watches what next week or something. I don't know, and then I'll have both on no matter what. But maybe I'll have one on mute, and I'll be watching the other one, and I don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah, maybe we'll alternate that way. Like we'll watch both because I can watch one on my phone, one on the TV, but.
I might do it.
One, and this way we could, if you say, holy shit, this is massive, tune into this so you don't miss it, kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that it's going to lead to more content for me and for us, and I know that I'm going to maybe make more money, hopefully. You know what I mean?
I think at this point I just need to do crack cocaine and just not sleep the rest of my life.
Just fucking, here we go. Like, oh my God, tonight NXT, we're going to do AEW right now. Be crazy. Okay, so the next one, we're almost out here. We're almost done with the questions, and we'll be out of here. Mike says, do you see, yes, I did see Jay's interview. We talked about that already. Sith Negan, Bailey needs transform into the savage Pamela Rose Martinez. Imagine that, Bailey going Pamela Rose Martinez. The Savage nickname would be a tribute to her idol, Macho Man Randy Savage. If we do get an Evolution 2 pay-per-view, imagine the following happening, says Arknolia Strokelbean. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is Sith Negan. Sith Negan, who is the top patron on my Patreon. Thanks to Sith Negan. The main event would see Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus Sasha and Bailey. Near the end of the match, the lights would go out in the arena. When the lights come back on, the MMA UFC 4 Horsewoman would be in the ring and would lay out WWE NXT 4 Horsewoman. If Ronda Rousey finger is still injured or is not injured, she could direct traffic while Shayna Baszler and all the other women that I don't want to say do their thing. The pay-per-view would go off the air with the MMA Horsewoman holding up the 4 fingers. God, I hate that though. It's so cringy to me that I'm at the point.
Wasn't there a leaked photo a while back of the 4 horsewomen wearing the Nexus bracelets or whatever on their arm?
Really? Well, listen.
I swear I saw that.
That idea is really good, and like that's what they should probably do, or they should have done a long time ago. My problem with it is I just can't stand the 4 horsewoman shit. Just stop. But I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sick of hearing about it. I don't even give a shit about. I personally don't give a shit anymore. But that's a good idea. That's a good way to book it, and that's probably what they should do. I don't know about the lights going out. They'd probably just
the lights go out and they come back on, and it's just a bloodbath, and the Fiend's drinking Bailey's blood.
Yeah, we get the Red Wedding, whatever the music from Game of Thrones, and then all the women have their periods. They're
synced up.
But yeah, Sith Negan, I mean, you booked it great. I like that. I mean, you should have booked it, but I just don't care anymore about the 4 horsewoman. These, I don't care.
It's because we talked about it just as much as we talked about Punk at one point. So
they'll bring it. They'll do it when we least expect it.
Right. And Triple M says, "Will you get Halo and stream it when it comes out? If not, I'll buy it for you." Of course, I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy it, and it's not coming out till next year anyway. But
it'll be on the new Xbox.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you see the Gears of War? Who's going to be in that one?
I've seen the trailer with the Nine Inch Nails music that makes me want to jerk off. But what else?
Yeah,
no.
Batista.
Oh, Batista's in it.
Yeah, he get to play as Batista. Random as fuck. But
I'm gonna play as Batista.
You can play it tomorrow, starting tomorrow, if you have the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass, and they're doing Ultimate Game Pass 2 months for $2. So basically, you can get Gears of War 5 and play it 5 days early tomorrow if you sign up for Game Pass for $2 for 2 months.
Not bad.
Wow.
So how do you beat that? You know,
try to beat that, bitches.
Walk alone.
No, he says on. Oh, he says on Steam. Oh, that's right, because Halo's coming to PC.
Yep.
Ooh.
You're right. That's what he meant. On Steam. My son is really excited about it. I don't.
He said so we can play on PC. Yeah, not Halo 6, but Halo 5's coming with the Master Chief Collection as well. It's coming to Steam on PC.
I don't really like to play shooters on the PC. I know that blows your mind, but I don't like shooters on the PC. I like shooters with a controller. I know that's crazy.
Isn't there a controller?
Yeah, you
Isn't
can
there
use
a
your
controller that's compatible?
Yeah, you can actually get an Xbox controller for the PC, basically.
Yeah, you can just use your Elite controller or whatever. They all hook up now.
Yeah,
Bluetooth.
I can hook my controller up right now to it. But the thing is,
yeah, because part of it's out already. But I think they're doing it in succession. Where I think they released Reach.
The key bindings are a pain. I never get it right, and I get angry, and I'm like, and I got to invert the controller.
It's available now, Jake.
Yeah, I don't think it's all out.
DMOON.
Right?
What?
I don't think it's all out, though. I thought it was releasing in sections. Like, Reach was coming out first, and they're going to do it in order. Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So,
I mean, I'm kind of interested
Rumor has it DMOON's about...
What?
Said rumor has it DMOON's about to get deported.
Oh, God. He might be. He definitely might.
That's what I heard.
He definitely might be deported. I'm like half asleep, so I'm fucking all fucked up. But, yeah, DMOON, listen... I'll fuck you. Friday night, monetize this. The belt. Drew's putting it all on the line. He's putting his life on the line. Tomorrow night is Thursday Night Throwdown. I'll be live on my Evil Spectrum channel for Thursday Night Throwdown. Come by and check that out. We're going to take no fucking prisoners. I'm going to be a goddamn maniac, and I hope you all come. Come to my Thursday Night Throwdown show. There'll be no wrestling talk, but we will be savage. We will be hard. We will be long. You don't have a local radio station anymore that you can listen to that's as entertaining as what's going to happen tomorrow night and Friday night on my shows on my other YouTube channel, Evil Spectrum 3. Subscribe right now so you can watch Throwdown tomorrow night. Normally live from Corrupted Nation. So subscribe to all my YouTube channels. Become a patron, because I'm going to be putting up a Morning Madness tomorrow again. And go listen to the one that's up there right now. It's 50 minutes long. And we talked about the top 20 songs from 1984. And then I went and talked about a whole bunch of weird shit before that and answered your questions. And I got wet. Gatekeeper Drew, thanks for being here. He is the Monetize This champion. Connor from OKFabe on YouTube. Subscribe to him, OKFabe. And at Countdown Ended is Jake DeMarco.
Yeah, baby. And he meant Gears 5. It's out now. I got you.
Oh, Gears 5. Yeah, there you go. I'm about to pass out.
That's where I'm going. I'm running off at
Good night, everybody.
Nope. I'm off to record right after this.
Nope.
Oh, God.
No one's going to pass out Friday night when I put this belt on the line. Shit's going to get fucking crazy when everyone finds out what's going on.
I'm going to fly to your house, and I'm going to saute your wife's pussy.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I know that's fucked up. I'm sorry. All right.
You got to get through Tyrone first.
Yeah.
Burn it down.
I'm going to burn down your fucking house.
That is to walk in.
Gonna lose.
I'm going to burn your fucking house down, and then I'm going to send the ashes to Scott.
You might be doing us a favor burning that thing down.
Oh, I love him. He's cool. I hate him. Oh, I love him. Oh, I hate him. Oh, I love him. Oh, I hate him. Oh, I love him. Oh, I hate him. Oh, I love him. When I love him, you can love him. When I hate him, you can hate him. If you have him on your show, it's then I'm gonna leave. But if I have him on mine, then you're mean for not having him on yours. Oh, I'm sorry.
You just bring the bag of ashes. It's a done deal, man.
Man, you gotta love it. You gotta love how this fucking guy affects people. Thank you so much to Pat D's 72. Unfortunately, anything under $3 on Streamlabs does not play, but Pat D's 72, longtime wrestling fan, been to many matches and have met some of the guys. Cool. And banged some of the guys. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man, I've met a lot of wrestlers over the years. I've called a lot of wrestling matches. When I called for the Hardys, when we got to the back after the match, we had sex. I'm just kidding. Yeah,
it was wonderful.
Wonderful. I delete the footage of me sucking you off. All right, we're out of here. Bye. What should I play? I don't even know. Oh.
Cocksucker, suck the cock. I'm allowed to talk forever. I got a fucking dick. I'm not allowed to talk as long as everybody else. Fuck you, fucking cocksucker. Suck your own dick tonight.
Jesus.
So good.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
Yeah. All right. No, seriously. Good night, guys. I'll hang up on you. Good night. Good luck, and I love you. Hit me up if anybody needs anything. I'll be awake for a little while longer on Facebook. Mwah. Good night, everybody. Love you all so much. Love you all so much. Everybody in the chat, I love you all so much. Tomorrow night, Throwdown. I'm going to throw the fuck down. It's going to be some real shit. Welcome to the Joe Cronin Show, where we don't have drama and psychopathic idiots who call every second. We only have psychopathic idiots who call and try to fuck me. Whoa!
Riding fox with your minuscule channels. All your humping Cronin's vids like an army of camels. Sit and copy your shit. Make your own monetize this. You got
go ahead, take it all.
Now you're starting to twitch. You got the same mic and setup. Stop riding his dick. You got the same Skype setup. Who you trying to kid? Get your own fucking gimmick, intellectual property. You trying to pass Joe like it's going Monopoly. You want me making $200? You're getting fucked by the long cock attendance Racket Jones. Come fuck with me. You're taking your take and you never give it back. Sitting hitting on the same 6 women in the chat. I lay you a riding on Cronin's dick. Even though you're on show shit. Chris peeps is about as real as a spray tan. Face looking like it's grazed by a rape van. You done fucked up, cuck butt, you suck butt, your cunt's bloody, you dumb fuck, and your mom's a slut. And while I'm at it, fuck you leech, motherfuckers. Hope these words leave you shitting in your sheets, motherfuckers. You are corny little bitches, this is beef, motherfuckers. Watch me beat, meat, skeet, skeet, skeet on your mothers. Starting to think Joe Cronin should start charging admission for all the people that are riding on his dick these days. Fuck. Get your own ideas. All of you are riding on Cronin's dick. Even though your own show is shit. Fuck your ass. All of you are riding on Cronin's dick. Even though your own show is shit. Fuck your ass. All of you are riding on Cronin.
About Joe Cronin, like I could care less. I'm not really a fan of Joe Cronin, but definitely not a fan.
He thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone, and he's a very shock jock or whatever. I have to explain, he looks like one of those guys from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper.
That guy is retarded, and yeah, I could care less about him, dude.
This is the Epic Voice Guy. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
This is a full-grown man making videos about WWE. About fucking WWE. Now listen, if you're a wrestling fan, I don't mean to insult you, alright? But when I see like a grown man that's like into WWE, and I'm not talking about just watching it, like this dude is doing fucking commentaries on WWE. I'm mad. I'm very mad, but I'm just trying to calm down. And I just want to put this all together real quick. I'm mad.
I could care less. I'm not. Joe Cronin and Tommy C are like pretty much identical. Joe Cronin said on his podcast, all right, the fact that I interviewed the swatter would mean that I could be like arrested or some shit, like that I could get in trouble because I interviewed a criminal. That guy is retarded, and yeah, I could care less about him, dude. So stop spamming him or I'm gonna ban you.